Good morning, welcome to Sewing Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarty. We have got 4 very, very full hours for you this morning with lots and lots coming up. Here's how it's shaping up. 8 o'clock, we have got for you beautiful bundles. Oh, look at the beautiful bundles. Yes, we've got lots of them. And some books as well. All sorts of goodies. Then 9 a.m, we've got our Hexie quilt. Lucy is here to show us. This is our first kind of hybrid quilt that we've had. And lots of you have absolutely loved it. And do you know what? Today, £30 off it. Woohoo! Yes, £30 off. So if you've loved it and really been tempted, today is your day. 10 a.m. is quilting tools and pre-cuts and bespoke extension tables. We're going to show you that a little bit before, so don't worry. And 11 a.m. Creative Grids Masterclass with Lucy Brennan. Oh yes, we know that lady loves a good old creative grid, so she's here to show us some of her top picks there. Now, I mentioned the bespoke. Look at this. I've just put hand cream on. That was such a mistake. Such a mistake. When it's got like sticky prints on, then, and sorry. Okay, so we have got this on. If you quilt, then you know that actually, you get a bit of shoulder ache, don't you, from just trying to heave things around. This, the company that make it, Horn, will bespoke make this for your machine. So all you will need to do is buy from us. We will send you the details, and then you speak to Horn and they will make it to your machine specifications. You just need to tell them which machine it is and they will make it for you. It takes about 14 days, and once you've spoken to Horn, and they will then send that straight to you. It's fabulous. It's got 5 adjustable legs there, a lovely great big work surface here, and we will be showing you this throughout the day, and then at 10 o'clock this will go live. Live, I tell you, live. We love these. We've been asked for these a lot, actually, an awful. There you go, Chris. There's a fresh face, Chris. I tried really hard. I did see you cleaning it earlier, and sticky fingers. Right, other things to mention for you. The website, which is, if you are web shopping, obviously you can either watch us there, you can shop from there, you can go to watch, and also have a peruse. There's lots on our website that we never really mention, but there's lots on there. If you'd like to message the studio, then it's myself and producer Hannah this morning, and director Tim, and cameraman Mike, and floor manager Chris. That's the team that's in today. We would love to hear from you. Hannah's been practicing her compliments this morning, which has freaked floor manager Chris out quite a bit. But never mind, she's working on it. But she says that you all look lovely today, which is fabulous. I'm sure you do. And then underneath, products from today's shows. Well, at the moment it's yesterday's. It's wiped clean, ready to go with all of today's items. So that's where you can have kind of a little shortcut to everything that we sell on today's shows. So you're not having to rifle through everything, but do have a rifle, because there's all sorts of goodies on there. And tutorials and all sorts of things, actually. It's a good little website. Now, if you would like to message us and send us some of your pictures, then this is the email address, which is studio@sewingquarter.com. Obviously, if you are sending pictures in, we assume that it's okay to show it on air. And if we get a chance, then we will. Depends how busy the shows are. There you go. Now, we have also had an offer running this week. It started on Monday, and lots of you have made good use of it. Well done. Which is 50% off Sewing Quarter own branded cutting mats and various accessories. So if you would like to make the most of this, we will show you these throughout the day. Loads of you, I mean hundreds of you, have gone for the A1 cutting mat, which is the biggest size cutting mat that we do. Should have been $39.99 down to $19.99, which is just amazing. So we've got 50% off. Lots of you making the most of this. This is while stock lasts. And I can tell you on day 3, some are running pretty pretty low. So you do need to check your baskets out. If you are a first-time buyer with us, then welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Your items are only secured once you have checked out. If they're just sitting in your basket, then they're not actually yours. But what we do is make sure that you can check out as many times as you like throughout the day, and the P&P is only applied at midnight, so that you only pay one P&P per day, which is just £2.95. So you could buy all of this just £2.95. So, what would you like me to do, Producer Hannah? Oh, yes, the email address. I keep forgetting about this. Oh, the law has changed. It's ever so boring and dull. But basically, data protection means that if you would like to continue receiving our emails, which tell you what's coming up on the show, which designers are coming up, special offers, competitions, things like that, then you do need to re-sign up. I'm sorry about that, but it is, you know, the law. And so if you go to our homepage, sewingquarter.com, then there's that little bit that spins around. And when you see the bear, click on that and just re-sign up. It's pretty easy, your name and email address. It'll take all of 30 seconds, unless you're really slow at typing, in which case it might take a little bit longer. Or unless you can't remember your email address, like me, in which case it might take you even longer. But otherwise, just a very, very quick job, and then you're there. Now, Producer Hannah would like to start with the bundles right at the front. The green one, of course you do. Could we get like one of those little steps that Freddie's got to help him get on the loo? There we go. It's all right, I've got Go Gadget arms. Is there a reason you want to start with the green one, or is it just because it's your favourite one, Producer Hannah? Oh, she just loves a bit of green. Oh, because of all the plants starting to go. Very exciting in the McCarthy household. This is our first year in our home, so we haven't actually seen the garden and what it's got in it, so it's really lovely. Now, for $14.99, these are your gorgeous greens. I'd like to tell you what they are. Let me get my iPad, see if it's actually going to show me today. Foliage green, I've got grass green, lime green, mint and emerald green, in no particular order. There they are. It's a nice sort of ombre of greens. And let's face it, if you've got any kind of florals, you might want to start picking out green. I love purple and green. This is my newfound love, is purple and green. Don't know quite where that came from, but it's really nice. I've been using it a lot. ATGC18 is your code. 2.5 meters of fabric, half a meter of each. They're rather lovely, aren't they? So we've got foliage, grass, lime, mint, and emerald in there. Nice, very, very nice. Use them together, use them with your florals, however you wish. Maybe you want to just use them as an ombre, in which case you're absolutely sorted and good to go. So that is our very first gorgeous bundle today. It's your gorgeous greens, not a broccoli in sight. Right, which one would you like to do next, Producer Hannah? Oh, Chris is going to come and pass it. Oh, it's all right, I can manage. Whee! There we go. Next one. He did display them beautifully, by the way. He was very proud of his display this morning. Now, this is your light pastel range, which is very, very lovely. I have got in here, this is your pearl blue. I've got baby pink. I've got lilac. I've got ecru, and I've got mint. Yeah, all of those baby quilt colours. Beautiful. Or just if you've got a lot of pastels, things like that. If you've got, you know, if you've got sort of more shabby chic-y type prints maybe in your stash, then this is a really lovely one. Look how pretty they are. Pretty and spring-like all used together. It's entirely up to you. But they just work beautifully, and half a meter of each. So maybe this is to make your stash go further. Maybe this is going to be lining fabrics. Maybe you're going to actually quilt and use these. We've been having a rifle through our quilt stash. And actually the number of beautiful quilts just made from plain fabrics. Gorgeous. Oh yeah, Producer Hannah's favourite one is just made from solids. Lovely, really lovely. Now the next one is bolds, which is, yeah, that one there, please. Thank you very much. Ah, look at that, the hand. You see, Producer Hannah, you didn't compliment his hand, did you? You just said that his face looked very smooth today. Don't know. We've had the strangest compliments going around this morning. Here we go. She's practicing being nice. Oh, hello, Hayley's in. You all right, Hayley? Good. Right, okay, we have got slate in here. This is bold and rich. Yes. We have got claret. We have got, not clarinet, no, claret. We have got dark green. We have got nautical blue. And we have got charcoal. Fabulous. If you haven't ever played with any of our solids, we've had these since day one here, and they are from Macawa. They are 100% cotton. They are 44 inches from selvage to selvage, and you will get a ½ meter of that. 44 inches selvage to selvage, and then ½ meter, which is really rather fabulous. So they are fabulous to have in your kit, to have in your stash, and they are incredibly useful. So this is our go-to range. Whenever we need a plane, we always keep these in stock. We always have these, and we like to bundle them in different ways for you. You know, maybe you go, yeah, do you know what? These colours work for me. I've got a lot of fabrics, those colour. Perfect. There you go. There we go. Now, next one. Where would you like to go next? Do you want to go purple? Yeah. There's a message from Alison. Oh, morning, Ali. She says, morning, Natasha and producer Hannah and co. Watching from near Leek. So far, no rain. Have a brilliant day. Love, Ali. We don't want rain. We don't want rain. Oh, producer Hannah wants to go and play badminton. Isn't that an indoor thing anyway? Is that? Oh, she's going to play it outdoors. Oh, Mike gave you some badminton rackets. Well, there you go. See, it's all going on here. What an active bunch we are, eh? But yes, good morning to you, Ali. Right, here we go. You broke your other ones. Oh dear, let's not go into that. Right, this is your purple bundle. We've got deep purple, forest fruits, lilac, real purple, and mauve mist. Here we go. Oh, would you like to do just a purple one? Yeah. So here they all are. Producer Hannah, that's grey. What's that doing in there? Oh, is that? No, I know, but Producer Hannah, that's grey. That's not any of the purples. Yeah, I know, it's not any of those. Don't know why it's in there. We've got the wrong colour in there. We'll find out why. Well, it's, you know, it's a rogue colour. It's fine. Hang on, how many should I have? Should be 2.5 meters. We'll find the other one that's missing from there. We're missing one. Is Chris coming in for it? He'll come for it in a minute. Let's have a look at the pinks instead. Here we go. We'll come back to that one. Bear with us this morning. I think he was bamboozled by all of Hannah's compliments. Here we go. This is the pink bundle here. Again, you could just ombre this. How beautiful. Wow, lovely. Now, again, ½ meter of each, which is a 2.5 meter bundle then in total. And this is your pretty pinks, and gosh, aren't they? We've got in here Candy Floss, Vintage Pink, Pastel Pink, Magenta, and Baby Pink. Lovely. And so you're going to get ½ meter of each. I just love the way that the colours just graduate. Ooh, lovely. I do like that. No, it's beautiful, isn't it? Ever so lovely. If you're making toys as well, you've got sort of quite a fleshy tone there. You've got all sorts you can play with, but otherwise mix it through with your florals, mix it through as lining fabrics, whatever you want to do with them. Have a lot of fun with these. These will work beautifully actually with your tildes. Yes, they will. Now, let's have a look at what we have left of our sewing quarter 50% off. Come on, have a look with me, because, oh, hang on, my big mat's gone. Where's my A1 cutting mat gone? Oh, it's Hayley. Hayley, is that why she was nipping in here? Can't turn your back for a second, can you? Let's have a look at all the other cutting mats. Now, various sizes for different things, isn't it? You know, I don't know about you. Yes, I like to work with an A1 cutting mat, but I also have smaller ones, and I often end up just working on a smaller mat. So we've got smaller ones, and we've got the A1. Come on, Chris, bring in that A1. Da, 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 da. Thank you. Now, if you haven't been watching, where have you you been? We've got 50% off cutting mats and tools. So this should have been $39.99. It is an A1 size cutting mat. If you're not sure what that is, then we've got 0 to 22 inches here, 0 to 34 inches there. And then you've also got in here, this is your, you've got centimeters. Oh no, these are inches here along here. You've got this as then a grid. So this is an inch cutting mat, which is fab. And then you've got your 1/4 inches, 1/2 inches, and inches marked out on that grid there, which is really rather wonderful. You've also got 15 degrees, 30 degrees, you've got 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 75 degrees. And then if you're a card maker or anything like that and you need to know your card sizes, then you've got these here, A6, A5, A4, A3, A2, and obviously this is your A1 size here. Should have been $39.99, but today just $19.99. Less than £20 for the largest size cutting mat that we ever do. Now this is self-healing as well. What that means, and if you're getting a cutting mat, I would urge you to get a self-healing one. When you make a cut, obviously you cut into the cutting mat. That's why we've got it, makes it safe. But then it heals over. So then, instead of having that cut ridge, like on your chopping board, you've got lots of different ridges. Instead of having that, well, you still have that lovely smooth surface, which means that as you cut again, you still get that smooth cut and not a technical term. So you don't get any of that juddering. You're always going to get that nice smooth finish, and that's why it's really important. This has been one of our most popular items, I have to say. And, you know, if you look after it, keep it flat, don't put it near a heat source. I know one of you, rookie error, might have lent theirs up against a radiator, as they're commonly known, yes, and it all buckled and everything else. I don't know how these are being sent. Sometimes these are sent rolled, that's not a problem. Just flatten them out, put some books or something on, and they will soon flatten out, an absolute treat. There's no extra cost for larger items. It's still £2.95 P&P per day, no matter how much you buy. Perfect. Lovely. Loads of you checking out on that. Please do check out if you have the space. And also, let's face it, £19.99 is much cheaper than having to get in a new French polisher to, you know, rectify the table. Now, if you do lots of pinning with your dressmaking, you don't want to be cutting, and again, you know, look after the work surface that you work on. That would be my key for you. Or, you know, or you might be someone that just does lots of gluey stuff. I've got one, my son has one that is specifically his so that it can get painty and gluey and it just doesn't matter. He actually has a smaller one and it slots into his little desk really nicely. So, you know, maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for a child or a grandchild that's doing GCSE art or A-level art. I've had my cutting mat. Yeah, I've had mine since I started doing my GCSE art. That's how long I've had one of mine. Oh, producer Hannah said hers was a lot more expensive and a lot smaller, but she's still got it. Yeah. There's a bit of gold spray paint on, but we'll gloss over that. That's all right, mixed medium, it's fine. Now then, what about a portable size, if you're off to any kind of workshops or anything like that, or if you just, actually, do you know what, these often, if you've got a good sized tray, these will often fit on a tray if you're pinning things and working on a tray in the evening. $9.99 rather than $19.99. Awesome. This is A3, okay. Oh, producer says when we go back to the A1, we just finished with the A1. We'll go back to it in a minute. Okay, she's got a great idea. So $9.99 HNTW 63 for your A3 self-healing cutting mats. There it is, less than £10. If you want to get started, this is a great place to start. And also, often my desk gets so crowded that this is the size that I can actually, you know, sweep a few things to the side and end up working on. Again, you've got your inches all the way around, and then you've got all your degrees. You don't often see cutting mats with 75 degrees and 15 degrees. You get 30, 45, and 60, but it's nice to have that full range on there. So, you know, $9.99, pop it in your basket. Now, a lot of you have been going for the see-through one. Ba, 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 ba. And actually, you can see on here, we have used this. This isn't a brand fresh new one, but you can see the cuts that we've made in there, and yet you can, there's no, because it's self-healing, yes, you'll see them. I quite like that. But it's still absolutely smooth, and that's the joy of your self-healing. So you can see how busy you've been, but actually you've still got that. Again, your inches and your inch grids, and then you've got, again, all of your paper sizes on there, but a very handy size again. Pop it in your bag, take it to workshops, or just have it on your lap or whatever if you're sitting there with a tray. So they are your two options. That one should have been $21.99 and is down to $10.99, half price. Now, let's have a look at a couple of rulers. Oh, do you want to go back? Sorry, producer Hannah's got a really good idea. She's not going to let me... she's practically wetting herself up there. What, producer Hannah, what is your really good idea with the A1? Oh, yeah, okay, no, I'll give you that. That is a really good idea. Producer Hannah says if you are someone that does big puzzles, you'll be able to do it on that, and then you can move the whole thing. You can move the whole thing. So she thinks it's a brilliant idea. Actually, I'm with her on that. Oh, you use a bit of our cardboard. Well, that's no good, is it? You want to get yourself one of these for $19.99, and then you don't have to, yeah. Oh, I hate having to move a puzzle. It's a really tricky thing. Yes, good idea. Okay, I'll give you that one, producer Hannah. Yeah. Yeah, she's like, thank you. She's happy now. Right, okay. Whoops. Let's go on to these. When you first start out quilting, we always get asked, what size ruler should I use? And we say, get a small one, get a long one. Now, if I look at this large one first of all, the reason that we say get a long one is because invariably with a quilt, you will have to cut from selvage to selvage a strip. So if you fold that in half, that is generally, well, you think all of our Macawa fabrics that we've looked at this morning are 44 inches selvage to selvage. Fold that in half, that's 22 inches. Pop that under here, and I've got, this is 24 inches long, which means that I've got an inch to start off with my rotary cutter, an inch at the end, and then look, that's going to fit on my A1 cutting mat. I'm going to be able to pop it underneath there, cut my 2.5 inch strip or more 5 inch strip or whatever it is that my quilting instructions are telling me to, and I've cut it from selvage to selvage in one whooching. It's a technical term, a ka-chung, and through it goes. The reason this is black and bright green so that you can see it, there you go, again, oh, look at that. You can see all the different angles as well, so it really shows up. And actually, often this is what determines which ones people buy. I know that Joy always loved this one because of the bright colours, so I can see it against any kind of fabric. So, you know, maybe that's the thing for you. It's got a little hole, you can hang it up. Like your cutting mats, please either keep them flat or hung. That is the way to go. So that's a great place. Should have been $13.99, down to $6.99. So maybe you have more expensive ones. Maybe you do collect creative grids, but maybe you worry about taking them to workshops, you know, in case they get damaged or anything like that. Maybe something like that you wouldn't mind quite so much taking with you because it's just $6.99, or maybe you're just starting out. You want to see if this is a, you know, if this is a good go, if this is something that you're going to love and then upgrade later. But $6.99 is a great starting place for you, as is this. Now, this is a very handy 6.5 inch square, again in those bright colours, so you can really see what you're cutting. Loads of you have been taking advantage of this. Just $3.99 as opposed to $7.99. So incredible value there. INTW 10, and again, bright colours there, so you can really see what's going on. And those bright colours don't start until 1/4 inch in, so you can easily see your 1/4 inch seam allowance if you're using it for that. Yeah, very, very clear, very easy to use. And there they are. So just $3.99, it's, you know, this challenge is about having that range that suits everybody. All tastes, all pockets. And here it is, $3.99. We have never, ever, apart from this week, taken 50% off things like this. We just haven't done it. Now, this will be until stocks last, and then when they're gone, they're gone. We won't be getting them back in. So if you want to take advantage of any of these offers, these 50% off offers, then please do make the most of that. $3.99. Should have been $7.99. Awesome. There we go. Now, you don't have to use a code or anything. You just, you know, like a promotional code. It's just on there. So once you put it in your basket, it's half price. It's ready to go. Shall we go back and have a look at our other bundles? Yeah, why not? Please check out your baskets on that. Like I say, it's just while stocks last. let's go back to the purple because we've found the correct colour. That rogue grey, sneaky rogue grey. Here it is. So this is now the correct bundle. So if you've gone for your purples, this is what you'll actually receive. So for £14.90, less than £15 for 2.5 metres of fabric. That's great value, whatever way you look at it. Deep purple, forest fruits, lilac, real purple, and mauve mist. Here they are. So it was just a sneaky mauve mist that was missing. A missing mauve mist. There we go. So they are your 5 different fabrics. So I believe £14.99 for 2.5 metres of fabric. Great quality, 100% cotton, 44 inches selvage to selvage, quilting weight plains. It's your staple, isn't it? This is your bread and butter of your quilting. You know, and beautiful rich colours as well that wash perfectly. So there we go. There are your purples. We've done the pinks. Oh, can we do this one and then this one? Yeah. The jazz one. Now, this is a Roaring Twenties collection. Absolutely beautiful. For me, this is a game of two halves. You've basically got 2 different colorways. Now, this is designed by Phillip Jacobs. Phillip Jacobs, where do I know that name? Where do I know that name? Normally when we talk about a Kay Fassett collection, well, I'll say, you know, Kay Fassett describes himself as one of 3 musketeers. There's himself, Brennan, and Phillip Jacobs. And their artwork all go in, and then Kay does all the colour work for them. So if you've bought a Kay Fassett bundle, invariably, if there's something floral in there, it will be a Phillip Jacob design. Incredibly talented guy. But he is a very talented designer in his own right. And here are some of his collection. So this is from the Roaring Twenties collection. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, gosh, I think he's picked up a bit of colour from Kay, hasn't he? 44.49, and you're getting 3 metres of fabric. But just look at it. It is incredible. 1/2 metre of each. That's your bamboo. And then you've got here your Valentino. That's actually upside down. Let me spin that around. So that's actually the correct way up for you. There it is. Beautiful. I'm pretty sure I've got those in my garden. I wouldn't be able to tell you the name of them. Well, I mean, I'm presuming they're called Valentinos, but, you know. And that one is your whirling dervishes. Yeah. Love that. So that's one sort of colourway there. And which has got sort of your oranges and your blues. And then if you want your pinks and your purples in the colourway, then here we go. You've got, again, your Valentino, you've got your bamboo, and you've got your whirling dervishes. Woo! Looks like we're about to go into a different dimension, doesn't it, with that one? And here they all are together in one whopping great big bundle, which is just fantastic. Now, here's the thing. If you've bought this already, then how about putting some plains through to dilute, to complement, to line, to make the most of really embellishing those colours. What I could recommend is this one. Which one did you go with? Would you never have gone for this one, Producer Hannah? Or was this built for something? I thought it went beautifully. What did you think it should go with? Oh. So this one, I think this one works beautifully. Or is this for the Tanya Whelan one? Oh, hey, you see, I like it with this. Because look, you see straight away, those blues go. Solids, they're just so versatile, aren't they? You've got your pinks, what you've got through there, greens that work through there, more greens that work through there, that works through there. It works beautifully, doesn't it? And then you've still got this very versatile neutral to come through there. So although it says Tanya Whelan Gazebo Complementary Fabric Bundle, scratch that. I think it works really well with Roaring Twenties. You see how versatile. I think that's incredibly versatile. I think that works an absolute treat. Lovely. I really like those two together. So for £19.49, to get an extra, what, 1, 2, 3 metres of fabric, I think it's lovely. Producer Anna's just had a phone call, I can hear her. Well, I think it goes with the Roaring Twenties. I think it looks lovely with the Roaring Twenties. Oh, Hayley's rung up to say how beautifully it goes with that. Well, yeah. Yeah, I didn't look at the name. I just looked at the colours and assumed it went with this one. I thought it works beautifully. Because look, that is exactly that colour, isn't it? It's the whatever you call them. Not stems, but you know what I mean. The flowery bits. Thanks, Producer Hannah. No, the bits that support the petals. And then you see, look, you've got that lovely green that's through there, but then you could equally put it with those leaves or those leaves, and then you've got the pink. It just works, and that blue is exactly that blue. It's a happy coincidence. So just, and look at look, I mean, look at this one with this one. Hang on. Look. I like. It's very satisfying. I like a happy coincidence. Or, look at that, because then it pulls out that green there. Oh, this is fabric you're going to have a lot of fun with. Or if you just want to tone everything down, you've got a neutral in there. Although I don't think this needs toning down. I think it's gorgeous as it is. There you go. I am going rogue, yes. Controversially, I've got a few days off to recover from it. It's fine. Right, from my rogue day. There we go. So that is your Tanya Whelan. Ignore the name. Can we change the name? Can we go that rogue? What? No, what? No, change the name. Oh, well, it involves you actually doing something, Producer Hannah. It involves you changing the name. No, she's not going that rogue. Oh, thanks. I'm the rogue and Hannah falls. Is this good cop, bad cop? Thanks. Right, let's have a look at this. This is your Joel Dewberry, and I've stolen that one from it. So let's pop that in there. So there should be 6 fabrics here. Hang on, I've got more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it goes in that one. I've given it to the wrong kit. Pop it over there. There we go. That mauve mist is much in demand this morning, isn't it? Here we go. This is Joel Dewberry's. I still struggle to say his name. This is from his latest collection. This is his Avalon fabric collection. This is in the berry colour range, and I do love this. And I'm just going to show you. Yeah, you're going to have to go overhead. Sorry about that, Director Tim. There we go. Because look how these colours go. I love that these just bounce off the page. The floral is gorgeous. Yeah, Deborah Sims yesterday, that's your hazel. Deborah Sims yesterday, she wanted to make her curtains out of the teal colourway in this. The aqua one, beautiful, yes. There we go. So there it is, and so you can see why these colours, I think it was our boss Hayley put this bundle together. I think she was very proud of herself. I think she's done a cracking job. You see, we have rails and rails and rails of fabric in our offices, and it means that we can go through, we can pick out this fabric and go, right, what colours work? And yeah, cracking job. I really like that. Emma's emailed in. Good morning, Emma. She's fairly new to the channel. Well, welcome. We've got lots of goodies for you. She's been catching up on the Quilt As You Go shows. Oh, brilliant. And thinks all these gorgeous fabric bundles would go with Quilt As You Go. Perfect. Absolutely. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's what does inspire you. Are you someone that gets the fabric first and then has to think? I know one of you put up on the Facebook fan page this morning that you just got the Tanya Whelan 10-inch collection, and you weren't sure what you were going to do with that, but apart from stroke it a bit, and that's absolutely fine. We don't judge. Do you do fabric then project, Producer Hannah? Yeah. Oh, your mum does the other way around. Yeah. It's just different ways of people's minds working, isn't it? But that, I think, is just a beautiful collection of different colours, and you can really see. So if you're making bags and things like that, if you want to put in a complementary pocket or a lining or something like that, absolutely stunning. Or if you're quilting, then those colours are going to go beautiful. Do you want to see this one as a half meter? No, you want to see that. Of course you do. Oh, you've renamed it Wildflowers. Okay, you do that. You know that it's actually called Hazel, but you like Wildflowers. Okay. Oh, actually, what a beautiful pattern repeat. Now, $31.99 gets you 3 meters, and 1.5 meters of that is brand new Joel Dewberry. So, Producer Hannah's on a country walk. She's got a dog. What type of dog? Oh, you might sneeze because you hay fever. Well, you know, that's the risk you take. Oh, you're walking to the pub by the canal. It's a bit early. It's only 8:35, producer Hannah. This is what it's evoking in her mind. She's dreaming of that. Oh, would you go for a shandy because it's quite thirst quenching? Yeah. Sometimes there's a time and a place, isn't there? Just for a, yeah. Oh, and some crisps. Hop and crisps. Nice. Oh, nice. What about a cheeky cider? Oh, this really isn't fair, is it? I can't have any of these things. I can have pop and crisps. Nice. I thought you said hop and crisps. I thought you meant as in like a beer. No, pop. I was thinking, oh, that's quite a cool way of calling it. She might start that trend, producer Hannah. Pop and crisps. Yeah. I could have a bottle of pop. There we go. Right. Oh, hello, Andrea. Just hello to everyone. I've just joined the site. Well, hello, welcome. Wonderful to finally have a dedicated sewing channel with great products and presenters. I live in maybe Brittany. I don't know. I'm going to say maybe Brittany because it cuts off. It's like when you tweet, gives you like you only have so many letters that you can use, characters that you can use. So Andrea, text us back, finish off your message, let us know where you are. But you know, thank you for messaging in. It's lovely to hear from you, wherever you are. Maybe it could be anywhere. Do you want to see the next colourway? I've got 3 different colourways of this one. Joel Dewberry, look at these. Ooh, I don't know if this is my favourite. Have you got a favourite one, producer Hannah? Oh, this purple one, this one. Oh, what about this one though? This has got purple and blue in. It's got some lovely cool shades and sort of yellow. It is a buttery yellow. It's a lovely buttery yellow. No, you prefer the berry one. See, I like this one. These don't pop off the fabric like the other ones. The other ones look like a shadow. This just looks like it's sort of slipped a bit, but I still really like it. There we go. And I reckon if you're doing a 2.5 inch strip, you're going to get a couple of those lines in there. Look at these. Oh, yeah, but you see, she's going to look at the hazel in this one. Oh, you like pyjamas in that? What about an overnight bag? That would be nice, wouldn't it? The colours would go in your bedroom as well. Well, you see, maybe you wouldn't use all of them. We'd have some left over for accessories. I like this one. Do you want to see this one in repeat? Because it's quite an interesting repeat. There it is. It's quite striking from afar, actually, isn't it? Yeah. You can really see, can't you, that Joel Dewberry was a graphic designer first. And you can see that it's Joel Dewberry. Yes, because, yes, if you do collect Joel Dewberry, and I've got quite a lot of his stuff, you can see the triangles. In fact, I was English paper piecing with some of the various, in yellow with those triangles on just last night. We were watching some sort of documentary about the Russians doping athletes. It was very interesting. Yeah. Donna's emailed in. Good morning, Donna. Morning, Tash. Good morning. Glowing this morning. Oh, the compliments, they just keep flowing, don't they? Hannah's been at it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Loving the fabrics. What's not to love? Oh, yeah, sell the family silver to support your habit. This is more useful. This will keep you warmer, won't it? And you'll be making heirlooms, you know, if you're quilting with it, and it will keep you warmer. Maybe just don't tell the family that that's what you're doing. Oh, she's going to make the Beatrice pinafore. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, good. That was a really pretty one. Oh, I like it. Thank you. Oh, I've got a needle here. Yeah, no, I've got a sewing machine needle. I'm going to pop that down there. You know, I found one in my cowboy boot the other day. Your friend has been banned from sewing in bed. That sounds possibly brave or sensible. She used to do some English paper piecing quilt. Oh, she put it at the end of the bed while she was sewing. Yeah, no, that's not ideal, is it? No, no, no. Please sew safely. We would endorse safety first here. I like this one. The blue colourway is my favourite. I think they call it aqua. Oh, jade. Well, you know, aqua, jade, whatever. Oh, that one's aqua. Yeah, that one is aqua. But look at this. Look at this. I'm pretty sure we had curtains like this growing up. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's lovely, isn't it? Really lovely. Mum and Dad had lots of sort of Sanderson type curtains in various florally things. It's like a modern take, isn't it? Fab. Woohoo. And there we go. Again, look how these colours just work beautifully. Really, really stunning. And I think you're just going to have, you can't, it's like having the right ingredients, isn't it? When you cook. If you start off with fabulous ingredients, all 100% cotton, 44 inches selvage to selvage, then you can't go wrong. It's going to look great whatever you make. And that's what you're getting here, is something that your base point is superb. So it's just going to be win-win. That's what I think. That's my excuse anyway. Susan in Essex says, hi Dasha, I'm looking for purple and green mix. Any on the table? Wow. You could buy a green and a purple one. I've got green and purple, but you'd have to buy them both and then you'd get a mix. So it's like pick and mix, really, isn't it? You know, just get one of the bigger bags. It's like one of those. Shall I show you both of those? The pastel bundle does have green and purple in it. How much do you want, Susan? Get in touch. Or shall I just, hang on, I'll just show you the green and purple ones and then you can decide which you would like. Oh, yeah, got it. Here we go. It's a good job that I'm tall, isn't it? I can reach these things. Yeah. It's one of those things that always makes me giggle when people meet me and they go, oh, you are tall, aren't you? Like I'd never noticed or struggled to get trousers long enough. Yes, I am quite tall. So in here, we've got foliage green, grass, lime green, mint and emerald green. Hannah gets it about her hair. Oh, you've got curly hair. Yeah, oh, have I? Oh, yeah. Here we go. So ½ metre of each of these, Susan. And look, it's £14.99, so under £15 for 2½ metres of fabric. And then, you see, oh, hang on, I've got to steal back my mauve mist. Here we go. If you wanted to get your purples, then there they are. If you wanted to mix and match. We had this conversation, didn't we, the other day, Patricia, about how purples and greens look beautifully together. And I have started working in purples and greens because you reminded me how much I like them. Oh, all the powers you like purples, yes. So we've got, in the purple one, deep purple, mauve mist, lilac. What else have we got in there? Real purple and forest fruits. That's what we've got in there. I've got to remember those off the top of my head. So your purples are down the bottom there. You've got your gorgeous greens there. And so there we go. For less than £30, you would have 5 metres of fabric. So I'm covered in thread. You'd have 5 metres of fabric, and you are purpled and greened up. That's it. Yeah, there we go. Do you want to recap those 50% off offers? Oh, because producer Hannah loves them. Oh yeah, you've been off for a few days, isn't it? Producer Hannah says she hasn't seen them for a little while. Yeah. Oh, she says that she's heard all about it, read all about it, has gone crazy. The only sizes we have left are A1 and A3. Yeah. Do you have to do that thing where you take a moment to work out which size is which? A1 is the biggest, and then it goes in half increments from there. Yeah. So this is your A1 here. This is the biggest one that we do. I don't know if you can get bigger. I've never seen bigger, and I have looked. So yeah, no, I have looked. We don't offer any bigger, so this is the biggest one that we offer. And actually, when you go to all the shows and stuff, I haven't seen any bigger there either. So it's a great size. It does start to get a bit impractical, doesn't it? Because where are you going to put it if you know you can't have it out all the time? But this was $39.99, and today all the way down to just $19.99. You've got your inches, you've got your angles on there from 75, 60, 45, 30, and 15 degrees. And then you've got your inches round the side. And this grid is actually an inch grid. I did do a double take and wonder if it was centimetres, but it's not. It's an inch grid around there. But it means that each of these is a 1/2 inch. So that's going to give you a 1/2 inch. And then the little dot in the middle gives you 1/4 inch. In Lucy's advert for her favourite tools, yes. Oh, she says to get the biggest cutting mat that your space will allow you to. I agree wholeheartedly and completely with you, Lucy. Oh, she's coming up next hour, so I can tell her then. If she's not watching, she might be watching outside. Lucy, hello, I agree. Yep, absolutely. But I also do think having a range is very useful as well. Oh, producer Hannah has a photograph from Wendy. Hello, Wendy. Oh. What a great use for the small cutting mat. What's she done with it? Oh. Oh, she's starting. Oh. Producer Hannah says, "Are you doing the Bargello?" Because that's looking like it might be a Bargello. But yeah, just setting all of the fabrics out. Nice. Yes. There is a lot of cutting for the Bargello. But that's just it, isn't it? Don't damage your desk. Damage this. I'm trying to remember who it was. Didn't want to splash out on a cutting mat and tried using a rotary cutter on a kitchen cutting mat. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wreck the blade. Dreadful, dreadful cut for less than £10. Here we go. This is your green one. This is £9.99. Should have been £19.99, down to just £9.99. And again, you've got all your inches on there, all your angles. If you're a paper crafter, then you've got your paper craft sizes on there as well. Very bright, cheery, and clear as well. I think that's the really nice thing. So if you work in inches, this is absolutely perfect for you. HNTW62. Perfect. Now, maybe you want a different coloured one, or rather no colour at all. In which case, here we go. Now, what you can see in here are the cuts. These are all self-healing cutting mats. So although you can see the cuts where we've used it, you cannot feel them. That's completely nice. It is like the die cutter, although that does actually mark into the, but this self-heals. So, and so there we go. You've got all of your inches around there. This is 11 inches by 16.5 inches. We have to give it to you in centimetres. This is not a centimetre mat. Okay. Would it harm the cutting mat if you did what? If you had stuff resting on it? No. Oh, you want to store it underneath things? No, as long as it's on a firm surface, so it's not being misshapen from what it's actually sat on. As long as the base of it is flat, then yeah, because some people store it sort of under their bed, don't they? Then yeah, as long as it's flat and it's not being bent by the things that are on top of it, that's all you need to look for, and not near a heat source, because that will move it out of shape. So they're just the things to look out for. But they, you know, this is if you're going to do any kind of cutting mat is the first place to go. The A1 is all inches. Yes, it is. To the lady in Devon that just asked that. Yes, you've got 22 inches there and 34 inches across the bottom. When I first looked at it, I wondered if this was a centimetre grid, but it's not. When I look closely at it, you can see that comes out of your 33 inches there. That's your 34. That's your 1/2 inches. On the screen there, we have crazy laws in this country that mean that we have to sell it to you in metric, even though there's no metric on here. We have to do that, else people slap our wrists. So that's why that's on there. There's no centimetres on here. This is all inches, just so you know, $19.99. So yeah, for quilters, this is absolutely perfect. Okay. Oh, Lynn's got hers. She doesn't know where she's going to put it, but she's got it. Oh, that's the main thing. Sort out the fine details later. It's all good. Oh, Helen says, thank you for answering your question. Well, that's what we're here for. So message in. If you need to know anything, then just message in. Cameraman Mike, are you really cold? Do you want to turn the heating up a little bit? It is a bit chilly in here, isn't it? It's not like it's a John day. It doesn't need to be freezing in here. If we could turn the heating up a little bit, that'd be amazing. Rulers. We don't want a cameraman with numb fingers. That's just no good, is it? You know, just no good. Here we go. Rulers. Always an important part. Firstly, that you can actually accurately see, and that's what this ruler is really good for, being able to accurately see what you're cutting, because you've got that very vivid green there, and you've got your black, so you've got your contrasting colors, you've got your 1/4 inches very clearly marked. This green is 1/4 inch, and it's actually 1/4 inch in as well. Should have been $13.99, but today $6.99. It is ridiculous for a ruler like this. So if you're starting out, you want to start out and you're not sure, you know, you go, oh well, you know, or maybe it's not been payday yet, but you just need it. You just need it. It's just $6.99. Fabulous. Grab it. The other one to grab, and then you've got a set, is this, which is 6.5 inches square. This is great for trimming down. And look at all those different angles on there as well. So if you've done all sorts of whizzy blocks, and you've got to, again, that's another technical term, isn't it? A whizzy block. And then you've got to trim it down. Then this is the perfect way to do so. And a perfect price, $3.99. Should have been $7.99. How much do you pay for parking when you go shopping? Producer Hannah, I paid £16 for parking the other day. I thought it was excessive. What happened was I went to meet with my friend for lunch, then we got chatting, so then we ended up having dinner as well, and before you know it, it was a whole day, and it's £16 for parking. That's Windsor for you. It was ridiculously expensive. That could have been part of a quilt. Could have been. I really resent the council taking that money, but when I could have started an heirloom piece, how rude of you. Do you know what creativity you've stifled? INTW10. I'm going to go over here before I get into trouble. Whoops. Don't start me. Soapbox moment. Right, let's have a look. Let's move those across there. 2 Tanya Whelan bundles, which are here and here. Oh, I like these. These are really pretty. Now, 2 meters in each of these bundles. Here we go. It's like what I always can't remember what it is. That computer game where you have to move things around and everything still has to fit. So this is your Tanya Whelan. This is the gazebo range. And let me show you why it's called gazebo. Look how pretty this is, because it's got a gazebo in it. It's not rocket science, is it? Let's be honest. But there it is. That is your gazebo fabric there, which is your Tanya Whelan mint fabric bundle. I think it is uber pretty. Are you going to have a big garden? A folly? What did I call it the other day by accident? A pergola. What's a pergola then? Is that not one of these? It's like a, yeah. Well, anyway, so this is the gazebo. And I just think it's really lovely and very feminine and very pretty. I know the bump is coming in useful these days. Well, we could just drape it over the bump. Hannah did. She hasn't seen me for a week or so. She's like, oh, you got big. Thanks. In the nicest way possible. Compliments are going all over the place. Here we go. Here's your other fabric. This is your other Tanya Whelan in this bundle. This is mint rosebuds. It's lovely, isn't it? Mint rosebud. Very pretty. It's just going to look gorgeous. And then by the time that you then mix it through with your mint, and it's ivory in this one, isn't it? Lovely. They do look very pretty together. Then you're going to have such a stunning design. Now maybe this is going to be cushions, bag, quilt. I don't know. What are you going to make with it? Or maybe it's just going to sit in your stash for a little while until you get inspired. Oh, producer Hannah's going to make wash bag gifts. Are you going to get your Oda coat out? Yep. Perfect. Well, yeah, when you go on holiday, and then you can have a set, can't you? So, you know, you've got all your lining fabric there, or maybe you want to do contrast pockets. Do you do a new wash bag every time you go on holiday? You go on holiday a lot, producer Hannah. That's quite impressive. Not when you just go away for a weekend. But you still go you go to really nice places like Cuba. She goes to posh place. And you had a new wash bag for Cuba. Where are you going next month? Come make me jealous. New York? I don't think we're friends anymore. I know I'm having a baby, but I could still go to New York. Doesn't stop you from going places. Right, let's have a look at this one. This is your other colourway. It's lovely. I want to show you this because I think this is probably, I like blues, which is a shame as we're having a pink one. But look, this is your blues. It's beautiful, isn't it? Just that cool blue in there is very, very pretty. And we've matched it with your vintage blue. Producer Hannah's put fairy lights around the gazebo in her head. In her head. It's all going on in her head this morning. How much coffee did you have this morning? 4 cups. 4 cups? Good Lord, woman. Wow, I salute you with that. So everyone's having fun this morning. Hannah's had 4 cups of coffee. We're all good to go. So you've got your gazebo. You've got, oh, now this is your toile, isn't it? There's your toile fabric there, your vintage blue and your ocean are looking lovely. Do you know who else is looking lovely this morning? Lucy, who's just walked in the studio. Yeah, she's giggling. Oh, we've only got 45 seconds left. Have we covered everything? Well, we haven't looked at any books. Ah. Oh. We'll have a look at them another time. I put my flamingo markers in there and everything. Sorry about that. Can I keep my markers in there for next time we do them? Okay. I like to highlight certain pages. We'll put them in my tools now. Okay, all right. Now, we are rapidly running out of time. I've had fun this hour. Now, if you would like to join us next hour, and, you know, I would really recommend that you do, Lucy's going to show us, ta-da! It is that one next hour, isn't it? Yeah, good. Yes, it's this one next hour. It is our Hexie Kisses quilt. A little bit of English paper piecing, a little bit of machine stitching. See you in a moment.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level. Never mind going to the market, we think this little piggy is going to steal your heart. The latest softie from fabulous toy maker Jo Carter was first seen in Simply Sewing magazine and is the prettiest pink piglet we have ever seen. Made from super soft pink fleecy fabric, this piglet will make the perfect present for a little one, or simply add to your own collection of super huggable soft toys. So, be sure not to miss out on Jo's Pink Piglet on Friday, the 27th of April at 9 AM. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. Sewing Quarter is the UK's first TV channel dedicated to sewing and quilting. On air and behind the scenes, our team of top industry experts work hard to bring you tons of exciting projects. Whether you're into dressmaking, bag making, piecing, patchworking or quilting, you'll learn something new every day from our talented guest designers and fabulous presenters. Our online shop is packed with tools, haberdashery essentials and fabulous fabrics, from simple solids to designer gems. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee and single daily postage charge, you can shop with confidence. So tune in daily on Freeview 78, Sky Channel 678 and shop online at sewingquarter.com. Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level.
How excited do you get when the postman comes buckling under the strain of all your sewing quarter boxes and goodies down your driveway, and you get the knock on the door because they don't fit through the post box? Well, this could be your next box that comes from us. Yes, exciting times. Do you want to see what's in it? Do you want to see how much we've taken off it? I don't know what's going on this week. What's going on, Hannah, this week? We just seem to have, like, yeah, a bit of sun. Have they been out in the sun? Have the managers been out in the sun? Is that what's happened? Okay, so yesterday we took £12 off K Facet. Today we're taking £30. Not that we're going to tell you that anywhere. This should have been £179.99. And this is Jen Kingswell, Hexie Kisses beautiful quilt that we've had up behind us. So this is the, to my knowledge, and I obviously don't do every show, so I don't know everything, but to my knowledge, this is the first time we have brought you an heirloom size, massive, great big quilt with the option of English paper piecing it. Now, this bundle was put together specifically for us here at Sewing Quarter because we wanted to give you that choice of getting this, and if you want to try an English paper piece, you can. If you want to machine it, you can. It's entirely up to you. Or if you want to do a little bit of both, that's Lucy's choice, then you can absolutely do that. So we had to put this bundle together, which meant that both options were available to you and you didn't have to worry. Everything was in there should you wish. So the first thing to point out is that you've got 240 hexagons and 480 triangles pre-cut for your English paper piecing. All laser cut, so incredibly accurate. And then down the bottom here, you've got Perspex templates. You take the brown stuff off the back so that you can fussy cut, because we've got some gorgeous fabrics. So, I mean, that actually, the way that the quilt actually goes, you can reuse these. The way the quilt actually goes, they will all be in grey, and it's that one that will be all of your different florals, which is really beautiful. So you can use those to then cut down the perfect size for your English paper piecing pieces. And so, yeah, like I say, you don't need to reuse. Sometimes people take their English paper pieces out to then reuse them as they go. Here, you don't need to. You don't need to cut another one. You don't need to. We don't need to cut any because they're here. You just need to cut the fabric. So, 240 hexies, 480 triangles, all laser cuts for precision, ready to go. Now, you also get instructions as to how to English paper piece as well. Your Hexie Kisses. So you get full instructions if that is the way that you want to do it. Now, if you go, I don't have 10 years to make that quilt, that's okay. We've got it so that we've got all of the instructions if you wish to machine this instead. You're still going to get all of this, so you might want to use that on something else. You still get the templates as well, so you double bubble here. You're still very, very lucky. You're still getting all of that. But here you also get all of the instructions if you wish to machine quilt this quilt. So, or maybe you want to do a mixture of the two. Lucy's going to show us how to do that as well, because she's awesome. There we go. Now, you want to see the fabric, don't you? I mean, that's like the periphery. Can I show you this? It's just a thing of beauty. But at some point, you're going to have to get it out of the box. Now, let's have a look at these florals. These are lawn weight florals. All of your florals are lawn weight, and they are incredibly beautiful. Lawn weight is lovely to English paper piece with, actually. And look, so you're getting... There's a Claude Monet quote on here, which is rather lovely. Oh, it's upside down. That helps, doesn't it? So this isn't the colours, the quality, is beautiful. But you see, that's why it's great that you've got the templates in there so that you can English paper piece it and you can fussy cut it. My garden is my most beautiful masterpiece, says Claude Monet. He'd be right. Look at that. It feels stunning. I have to say, it does feel stunning. So you are going to get in here, oh, it's not going to go back looking that beautiful, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the different sort of floral lawn weights. Then you get your hexi fabric, then you get your background fabric, and you also get your wadding. So actually all you need to do is just add thread with this. This is the whole shebang in here. So when you've paid your $149.99, just add your thread and that's it. You don't need to spend anything else on this. Let me show you these other beautiful fabrics that we've got. There we are. So the beautiful thing about this is that you've got the different size prints. Look at that. Oh, fussy cut that. But they all work. So you don't, you just mix and match them. See, it's nice to have a ditzy in there as well. Gorgeous colours in here. It is a beautiful vibrancy. And then you get into sort of like the green bit. Look at that. So these are all your lawn weight fabrics. And then that one as well. So you get all of those. And they are going to do all of your hexes. Now, the triangles are all made, so your 480 triangles are made out of this lovely neutral. And this just feels so incredibly soft. So this is 100% cotton. Very beautiful, very soft, lovely to work with. I know you do have everything in here, Producer Hannah. It's just add thread. Thread and time. I think it's beautiful. So you get all of that. That's going to do all of the little hexes. So now, was it something ridiculous like 8 meters of this? I can't remember how much it was. It was something crazy. I know it's a big quilt, but I won't unravel all of this because there are meters and meters and meters of it. This does all of your triangle, your big diamonds, and this is also going to do your backing as well. So this is your grey polka dot, but I think as you can see here, it's not just a solid grey, so there's texture in there as well, which is really beautiful. So you get all of that, and it is, like I say, meters and meters and meters of it. Obviously, you won't be getting the one I've rifled through because that would just be unfair because we know I can't fold fabric. And then, it doesn't stop there. Look at the size of this. 100% cotton wadding. It's so white, it's so big. And that's folded in half again. Lucy, please can you grab the other end? This is just your wadding. Ha ha! That's your wadding. I think you've got enough there. I'd just like to snuggle. It's really cold in here. We could just snuggle under this, Lucy, and do the hour under this. And no one would mind. No one would judge. I'll put my slippers back on. The finished quilt size is how many inches? 66 by 85 inches. God, you're going to have a lot of that left over then, aren't you? Oh, it's just gone up my nose. Got a load of fluff up my nose. That is everything that you're getting. We have taken £30 off this for you today, a huge amount. So you're making a massive, great big saving, $149.99 as opposed to $179.99. So if you've been oohing and ahhing over it and rather loving it, that is everything that you're getting in it. So you get all your templates. You also get your paper piecing. You get your instructions to machine it, your instructions to English paper piece it. You get everything, backing, binding, wadding, the lot. The whole shebang. It's a technical term. The whole shebang. Lucy, you look frozen. Hello.
I am.
How are you doing?
We'll warm up in a minute.
We will.
won't
We'll get moving, and it'll all be fine. Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's on a John Scott setting, I think. Now, here it is behind, and that is what we're making today. Now, when we are quilting something as huge as that,
Yes.
something that is very handy, something like this.
Something like this.
We're going to have this for you to buy next hour. Getting a lot of messages about this, but we just wanted to show you. We've had so many people asking, saying, look, my machine didn't come with an extension table, or the extension table, it was a bit of an exaggeration to call it an extension table. It just wasn't big enough. So what we've got here is a custom-made extension table for you, for your machine. So that's going to come up at 10 o'clock. We're going to talk to Lucy about how useful these are. Do we really need one? And we'll talk about that at the end of the hour. It's even got...
I know.
It's even got your inches and centimetres in there.
There's a lot of great things about this one.
Should we just slide it on?
Shall I slide it on? It's very, very... It just sort of drops on. As easy as that. And then you've
Producer
got
Alice says,
all
obviously,
that
it's
space.
deluxe. Yeah, no, it's a stunner. This is a deluxe one. Even down to little features like the curved edges so nothing gets caught.
I know, I can't stop. Even on the sides,
Are these
it just
your sticky
feels
fingerprints
lovely.
then?
Probably, yeah.
Because
Sorry
I put
about
hand
that.
cream on and then tried to pick it up. I was like, oh. At 10 o'clock, we're going to do that properly because we've got so many messages regarding it. So stay tuned. 10 o'clock, we'll go into lots of detail. But this hour, it's about this.
Hexie kisses.
We love this. Now, the designer Jen Kinswell is one of your favourites.
Yes, she is a fabulous designer. She's also done fabric design as well, and she makes really interesting patterns that you can use time and time again. I've made a couple of her quilts, quilt patterns, and they're lovely. She's very clever, and they're a joy to sew.
She's Australia. She lives in Australia.
She's Australian. Yeah.
Used to be a nurse. Mm-hmm. So both her careers have involved needles. All right then. So there we go. You get all of your, and if you are doing it for machining, then you get all of your templates in there as well. So whichever way you choose to do it, you are covered.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So the instructions, Jen Kinswell's pattern is for machine sewing.
Yes.
But there are ways that you can mix it up and do a bit of both, which is what I like to do. But then you've got the templates there should you want to machine sew it. And then I'm going to talk through the paper pieces, which is comes in a kit as well. And with that, the templates are slightly different, and you have the acrylic ones.
Yes.
So they're just a little bit smaller, but they include the seam allowance.
So
for the paper
whichever
pieces.
which way you choose to do it, you are covered and sorted.
Yeah.
That's really going to get in your way because it's so huge, isn't it? Let's move it out of the way.
Okay. I'll just
I
pop
just
it here.
noticed that
I'm going to I'm like squidged here. Yeah, it's really big. Okay, so for hand sew, I mean, I love English paper piecing.
Me too.
Yeah, because it's great because you can travel with it, you can do it outside. So when we had that nice weather, which hopefully will come back.
Well, you remember the 3 days.
Feels like forever ago.
3 days of summer, that was it.
I know.
It was beautiful.
It'll come back.
Lovely.
So you can sit outside, and so, it's really portable, really easy. You can just do a little bit at a time. I like to prepare some of my pieces. I don't prepare them all at once, but just prepare some of my pieces, sew those, so I'm kind of switching between the two.
Nice.
But the kit that comes with this one's great because you've got those templates, so it makes cutting
And you can use them
faster.
Again and again and again.
Yes, absolutely.
Jane in the West Midlands, it's near us, says, hello Natasha and Lucy, just bought the Hexie kit. Can't wait for it to arrive, says Jane.
Jane, when it arrives, it's so joyous.
Yeah, because it came to you, didn't it?
It came to me, and I just opened it, and I was like, oh. It's It's just wonderful. And the fabrics feel incredible. They're such good quality. Beautiful fabrics.
Soft lawn.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Personally, I like working with a lawn on a bit of English paper piecing. What's your thoughts on that?
Do. Yeah, I've used and I've used lots of different types of lawn. This one's really nice. It's not slippy. You know, it's not like a slippy lawn. It's cotton. Well, I mean, cotton is lawn, but you know, it doesn't feel sort of shiny, slippery. You know, it is really, really nice to work with. So yeah, I'm mixed, and this is mixed as well. So you've got some cotton, some lawn, and it's perfectly fine to mix them.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it a lot. So, oh, hello, this is out.
Yes.
It's out of stock at the moment, so bear with us. But again, you know, we see these things and then we start to realise why we need them. So the rotating cutting mat. Why is this out for this?
This, with the English paper piecing, this is a 2-inch hexagon template, so very, very useful for anybody that enjoys hand sewing, because like you said, you can use it again and again. And there's so many things you can do with hexagons, different patterns that you can create. But it means you can rotary cut your pieces. So if you're confident rotary cutting and using the template, you could have however many layers of fabric you feel comfortable with, and then you're getting more of your pieces.
Yeah, you're quite good at that,
once.
aren't you?
I'm quite happy to layer it up, Anything that makes that go a little bit quicker. And then it just makes it easier, so you're not having to pick up your fabric and move it each time, but that you can spin it as you're cutting.
Producer Anna is already listing all the different projects she would then be reusing this template for.
Yes. I mean,
she's got a lot of sewing to do. She hasn't got time to come to work, really.
There's lots of traditional patterns that you can do with it as well. You know, this one is slightly more modern looking, I think. But there's so many things that you can use hexagons for. So with the template, it has, it's got printed on, you know, the name and everything, the 2-inch hexagon, and that's slightly textured.
Oh, so that's going to provide a little bit of grip.
So it's just got a little bit of grip. So you want to make sure that that's upside down as you're cutting, because that's just going to help that template to stay in place. And then I've just cut 5-inch squares that I'm going to cut the hexagons from. So you can layer this up, like I've said, and cut more than once if you want to.
If I wanted to just cut strips and then just go for it, can I?
Yes, you can do that. Yes, absolutely. So it just makes it really easy. If I didn't have the cutting mat, I would have to be lifting and turning, or somehow be cutting on some sort of table I could manoeuvre myself around. And that's just not, you know, the easiest thing to do.
Not everyone has that sort of size table, do they? That you can just do that with. No. Oh, hello, that's rather.
So lovely. It just makes it. But if you stack them up, you're you're getting more than one at once. So very, very easy to do.
Now that's incredibly satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah, really satisfying. And it just means that you've got that nice accuracy as well when you're coming.
I always wonder with these. Everything. The 2-inch is that the 2-inch length? That yes. So it's each side, is 2 inches, not
there are
across.
Some you have to be careful because different people do measure in different ways, so it's always worth checking. You know what?
But here,
but Paper Pieces are very well. You know, it's a very, very well-known brand.
Your 2 inches is that line there. That's where the 2 inches measure. Because I was looking at that, going, that's a funny old 2 inches.
But it's now. I do like. You know, I have sewn very, very, very small hexagons once or twice. And I always say never again, and then I sort of, you know, do a little bit. But the bigger pieces are much easier to sew, and it does, everything comes together quickly.
I'm doing inch hexies at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did.
It's a labour of love.
I'm not sure if mine were 3/4 inch.
But that's just crazy,
I know somebody's doing 1/4 inch ones.
I think you've out-hexed me now. I salute you and your tiny hexagons.
So once you've cut your hexagon, then you're going to baste it to the paper. Okay. So your kit comes with all the papers that you need, and it's a really good quality, so you can reuse these. Yeah. So
you don't have to within the kit. You get enough to do that entire quilt without ever reusing any of these at all. But then once you take them all out, you've then got them to use them time and time and time again. Yes. You know, if you use flimsier ones, you're going to struggle. I got through another glue pen last night. I'm not going to lie. A little bit obsessed.
I know. It's so easy. I mean, I thread basted for a really long time, and that's, you know, of course you can thread based, but the glue just makes it so much quicker. And when you are doing a quilt of this size,
You got a lot.
that's a lot of stitching to be, I mean, you can, but it's quicker.
Do you know,
to glue.
it is, it's one of those things that if you've always done it that way,
Yes.
then it's going to feel very comfortable for you.
Yeah, and I think
go
I
for it.
thought, you know, well, that's traditional, and then it's all hand sewn. But really, if you're, you know, if you're wanting to complete your projects in a timely manner, it's much quicker, doing the glue, and it will hold up. It's not going to hold forever, and it washes out. Doesn't damage your fabric in any way, and it's not difficult to get the papers out. I know that's a concern of some people, but it really isn't hard to pull them out afterwards.
This is exactly the one I was using last. Well, not the exact one.
No, I haven't stolen yours.
No. But the Soline glue pen. And these are a relatively new thing within the industry. Soline actually developed these specifically for English paper piecing. So it was a glue that had to hold but not be permanent. It's repositionable, and it's bright yellow, dries absolutely clear. So you can see exactly where you've placed it, but it doesn't mark the fabric. It washes out. And it just makes life super easy.
It does.
Then we discovered that you can baste circles with it, zips, all sorts of things.
I regularly do, yeah.
You need it in your life.
I have 2.
Do you?
Yeah, I have 2, and I always have refills.
I always have
get
at least 2
anxiety
refills.
if I don't have refills.
Well, that was me.
Because I don't ever want to run out of it, because I
10 o'clock
use
last
it all the
night,
time.
when I should have been in bed, and instead I'm still sitting there hand stitching, ordering.
Yeah.
Online, need a few more of those. Thank you
And the
very much.
refills are, you know, relatively inexpensive. It's not a huge cost, but for the time that it saves, it's definitely worth it.
You get one in there. You'll either
Yes.
get a yellow or a blue one. It makes
So there's one,
absolutely no difference.
Yeah, there's one in the pen, and you get a refill.
So you get
essentially,
2 to
you've
start
got
off
2.
with.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to change them over as well.
Yeah, really easy. You just twist it up. That one's coming to the end of its life, and you see it's got a little grey plastic bit.
Yes.
So you just pull that out.
Yes.
And then you replace it with the new one, and then you just twist it down.
And that's it.
That's it. Simple as that. Really, really easy.
And if you really squeeze that grey bit, you can get a few more hexes out.
And somebody I saw on Instagram was collecting the little refill tubes. I think she's maybe thinking of making a necklace with them. But then you can put your old one in the little tube, so it's, you know, it keeps everything clean.
That's like a trophy of look.
I know,
how
like
much
a
English paper
trophy.
piecing
Yes,
I've done.
exactly. I think that's funny. So you don't want to use too much glue. That's the key to glue basting. Some people go very, very heavy-handed, and then it is hard to take the papers out.
I've learnt.
And I also prefer to glue on the fabric rather than the paper.
Oh, do you?
Yes, yeah, because I think if you stick it on the paper, you tend to use too much because psychologically you want the paper to stick. Whereas if you do it on the fabric, you're slightly lighter. And I've just found it's easier to remove it if the glue's on the fabric rather than the paper. I have no explanation other than it just is.
So the 50
slightly
plus
easier.
that I glue basted onto the paper last night.
Yes. It'd be fine, it's fine, but I just find it harder, having experimented and tried lots of different ways, it's just a little bit harder to get the...
Do you know the other actually easy way to get them off is just to just iron them because it softens the glue?
Yes, yeah. The other thing you can do if you want to is hole punch in the centre.
Yeah.
That helps to get them out as well. But it's not hard to get them out.
Do you know what else I started doing? Starch, you know, the
Yes,
Best Press spray.
yes.
So once they're there,
Yeah.
and it's so crisp then.
Best Press is amazing.
It's once I've taken the papers out,
Yeah.
done.
Keeps it nice and flat.
Love it.
Yeah.
Really loving it.
Okay, so I just dab. So I
Okay.
don't even draw a line, I just literally like little dots.
Little dabber.
Because it, you know, then it's going even further and you don't need a lot. And another reason I don't go on the paper, you've got to get that corner there,
Yeah.
right? Because you want that corner to stick down. So if I do it on the fabric, then I know that I'm getting all of those corners and that's going to stay. And you're just pressing it over the edge of the fabric. So it's very, very simple. I'm using the rotating cutting.
Wow, very convenient. Why
Just
not?
make life easy for myself.
Why not?
So you just can feel it with your finger. And it is important that you do this, well, it's flat on the table because the idea is you want it to be completely flat on the front.
I do it on a tray on my lap.
Yes, lovely.
And if it's one that I've got to use for food afterwards and people don't want glue on there, weird. Then I just whop a cutting mat on, like a smaller cutting mat.
The other thing you can do is put a bit of freezer paper underneath.
Oh, that's a thought.
So then it would just protect whatever surface you're doing on. Because occasionally you can get little bits of, you know, glue.
Georgina says, hi girls, glue pen tubes are good for putting old needles in and disposing of.
Very good idea, Georgina. Good idea.
Stay up here for thinking, down there for dancing for Georgina this morning.
One other thing that I want to mention is they can get a bit messy.
Baby wipe.
So I've gotten into the habit of making sure I wipe off around the pen before I put the cap on. And if yours does look very messy, don't put the cap onto the bottom of the pen.
You're going to get a gluey bottom.
You're going to get a gluey bottom. So I always wipe round, wind it down. When you first start, it will still stick out. But just if it's coming in the end, wind it down. So that's all nice and neat, and then put the lid on.
Okay.
Because I'm a bit of a neat freak. Okay.
No, I salute you. I don't know how you manage it with 3 children, but I do salute you on that.
Nighttime sewing, that's how I manage.
The other thing is, if you are working on a cutting mat and you do get glue on it, just get a baby wipe or just warm soapy water.
Yeah, and you should be doing that on your cutting mats anyway, because they like moisture. So if you have a self-healing mat, you should be moisturising it with water.
I don't moisturise my face, let alone my
well, no, don't put moisturiser on it, but just water and...
it's a top tip.
You can soak them, different things, but a baby wipe is good, you know, a very gentle one. A wipe is a good idea because that helps them heal.
I've inadvertently done the right thing.
Yes, been looking after your mat without even knowing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just do that a few times to make some hexagons. And then
240 times.
Okay, just a few times. I always think it's always good. I know some people count I never count them. I just keep going. I did do
260 in a night.
Yeah, I can't count them because
sew
it's
them.
Overwhelming.
I glue basted 260 in a night.
Lot.
And the only reason I know is because the packet had 260 in it and I ran out. I was like, oh no, I better start sewing some of them. Oh.
So with this design, you just want to have a good mix. So you don't really need to think about, you know, wet fabric placement necessarily, unless you wanted to. It looks really nice just with them randomly scattered.
Lynn, yes, you can. Of course, you can sew based. It's just...
Yes, absolutely.
We don't.
Yeah.
Just because...
No, once I started glue basting and realised how much quicker it was...
That's the truth of the matter.
Then I was like, why am I thread basting? But if you don't want to use glue, and I understand, you know, some people just don't want to, of course you can thread based. You don't have to have
At Festival of Quilts last year, when we had our little stand and everybody came to do some English paper piecing for the massive great big quilt we then had made for charity. Yeah. So many said, but I've always done it this way. I just can't imagine doing it any other way. That's completely fine, as long as it's basted one way or the other. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no.
No one's going to know.
Either way.
Oh, that's a bit pretty.
I know, it's very pretty. That one's for my machine sewing though, so put it back.
Sorry.
Okay, so along with your hexagons, get off, Natasha. Along with your hexagons, you need triangles. Okay. Okay, so triangles we just cut from strips. So this is, I believe, 2.5-inch strip. And then we can use the...
yes, template.
Template, thank you. To cut out the pieces.
And that comes with it.
Handily, that has the dog ears taken off as well. Now, if you wanted to just use your regular ruler, you're just using your 60-degree angle, and the instructions for that are in the pattern. Okay. So if you'd rather use a ruler, you can. But for these little pieces, it's just easier. Okay, I'll just explain. As I'm cutting it, you do take these dog ears off. So when you lay the template on it, it's level top and bottom, but that first cut, rather than cutting into there and risk cutting into the fabric, I want to cut across this way.
Saves you fabric,
and then cut it off. So what I like to do is line up the rotary cutter with the edge, and that will, because it's only small, that will go to the edge of the fabric. So if I need to go backwards a tiny bit, I can do, but it will cut it. So just like that.
Perfect.
And then I'll just trim those off. So it's just those two sides.
Yeah.
And you can, again, you can double up your fabric. So that was one piece folded in half, so I've got two. Nice. But you could also layer up your strips so that you've got as many as need be. Yes.
Very satisfying.
And then you just can base that by thread or glue so that you've got your triangle. You
get full instructions within the English paper piece bit. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here it is, in fact. Let me show you. So if you are new to English paper piecing, oh no, hang on, it's there. It's not that bit at all. It's here. And that's actually the company that make these bits, these paper piecing company. They are very good at giving you just your very basics of how to English paper piece. They show how to do it with sewing, but even awkward shapes.
Yes.
And so you know that's great just to keep. In the kit, this is everything you get. So you get your wadding, you get your backing fabric, your binding, you get everything for the front as well. You get the choice, you get instructions to do it by machine, you get instructions to do it English paper pieced with all of your English paper piecing templates, and you also get the like template rulers as well, and you get your wadding. You get the whole shebang, and we've taken £30 off. I don't know what's happened this week.
Oh.
We don't normally do discount or anything. Take £30.
Everyone's in a good mood.
Yeah, we want a bit more sun.
Take advantage.
Do Sandra, I can't hear you at all.
Okay, so I've already got some prepared, and I think that was the one that I sewed on last time. I've cleverly this time brought a darker coloured thread so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to, so for each hexagon shape, you're putting a triangle on either side.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, give me
so that they end up like that.
Okay.
And then you're going to put them together. That's the one, isn't it? And then they come together like that.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
So you're making diamonds made up of...
For your hexi pieces.
So each of your diamond shapes is 4 hexagons and however many triangles are in there.
2, 4, 6, 8.
8 triangles and 4 hexagons.
Quite like looking from the back as well.
Apparently I can't count today.
That's okay.
Thanks.
That's all right.
Okay.
Counting not needed.
So I knot the end of my thread. Some people prefer to start English paper piecing just doing little stitches or a forward, some forwards and back ones to secure it. But I'm a bit of a knotter.
With your accent, that sounded like nutter.
I know.
But we couldn't possibly comment.
So what you're going to do is you're putting your pieces right sides together.
Yeah.
And you're doing a whip stitch across this seam. So that is sewing over the pieces. So I'm just going to start off. And all you're doing is you're just going to catch the very edge of the fabric.
Yes.
So you're not sewing through the paper. You're just catching the very, very edge.
And you really can feel where that paper is.
Yes, you can.
So you when you get in the zone and in the flow.
Yes.
You will really. You'll know if you've caught the paper.
Yeah, you can hear it as well. You can feel it and hear it.
Not if you've got the TV on as well.
Well, not if you've got the TV on, but you definitely can feel it.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's difficult to go through.
Yeah.
Now I'm just denting my finger. Can we break open those?
Crack open a
needle pads
thing. Do you want the
that one?
This one?
Sorry, this one.
That one.
Yeah, please.
We've got 2 options. Oh, you can't have that one because the metal bit's gone. These are leather. So if you worry about things like that, then go for the other one, which isn't. But these are leather. Now, what these are, and these are reusable. Do you stick yours on your sewing machine?
No, I stick it on my daylight lamp.
Oh, right. Oh, so you always know exactly where it is.
So I know where it is, yeah.
Everyone, because they are that reusable, aren't they?
And then I've got one that I stick on my needle minder in my sewing kit. I just have them everywhere, dotted about.
Well, you get, hang on, 12.
Yeah, you get 12, and each one lasts you a really long time. It's very sticky, and then gradually it sort of wears off, but it takes a long time for, you know, they stay sticky for a really, really
Can I interest
good
you in
amount of
one
time.
today,
Yes,
Lucy?
please, because I've already
You've already
got a
dented your
dent in my
finger.
finger.
Thimbles and I are not friends. I used to collect
Thimbles
them
and
as
I
a
are not
kid,
friends.
but clearly I have man hands,
Yeah.
and thimbles just do not work for me.
No.
These are fab, because it doesn't matter what size your hands
So
are.
it just sticks. It's a very unobtrusive size. And then if I just go like that, it's going nowhere.
Oh, yes.
It literally, it's really, really stock.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not really, really stock. You just peel it off.
It's never coming off
but
again.
it's not going anywhere. But that just gives you that bit of protection so that as I'm sewing,
I think also everybody has a different pressure
I can
point.
push. Yeah. So I can just push the needle like that and I'm not damaging my finger. So, and sometimes I'll start off, I'll be really honest, sometimes I start off and I forget to put one on. And then I start going, oh, my finger's
Why
really
does it
sore.
hurt?
Oh yeah, I haven't put my thimble pad on.
Okay.
So.
Now, the other one is the under thimble. And this one, you get a little metal pad like that. So you get the adhesive pads, and then you stick the metal bit on. The metal bit's gone missing out of it, so it should be in there. But that's what it would look like. So you're basically sticking a thimble onto your finger where you wanted it, not where the manufacturer thinks might fit.
No.
One size fit no one's.
And that one, I think those are really designed for quilting, aren't they? So it's for your hand that's underneath the
It says, yeah,
quilt.
it says for the stitches underhand, but if you don't want to leather because you're
Yes, you
vegan
can
or
use
something like
those,
that, then
yeah.
you can always use these.
Yeah.
It says no more sore fingers, calluses or stained fabric.
And it really does make a difference. It's quite thick. You know, when you look at it, they're quite thick little...
yeah, they are, aren't they? Pads.
Pads, would be the word. So you have got a good layer of protection there, because initially I thought, somebody actually sent me some, first of all, to try them out, and they really... I was really surprised, because I sort of thought, how can that little thing make a big difference? But it does, it makes it really, really comfortable, and then you don't end up with a big dent in your finger.
Now, so you can put this anywhere. I know it's called an under thimble, but look, they've got it on their finger there, and it does say you can just put it on anywhere.
Yeah.
I think they're brilliant. I think they're such a great invention.
And they honestly last so long.
Beverly's emailed in.
A really long time.
Good morning, Beverly. She's only just bought them, but they're great, and she loves them.
Yeah.
She keeps them on the side of her sewing machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a beauty spot for your sewing machine.
Yeah. Well, you can just dot them all around, and then they're there whenever you want them. Okay, so I'm at the end, and what I'm going to do is, this is my last stitch.
Yeah.
And what I do is pull it through most of the way, and then I just go under that little loop to form a knot. Okay? And then sometimes I do a couple of little back stitches because I just want it to be really nice and
How
secure.
wide apart are your stitches? They're very neat.
I don't know, I just do it. I don't really measure them.
Sort of millimetre, couple of millimetres. Smaller than the measurements on here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think everybody gets into their own flow with
Yeah, it's
it.
about 11 an inch, but that's just people have different preferences. I'm not a big believer in you have to do this many, because who wants to be counting all their stitches every inch, you know? I think you'll just find your own rhythm. The idea is, oh look, I've done a rather large stitch there. Not concentrating, we'll just go like that. So the idea is when you fold it back, you don't want to see too much of your stitches. I'll show you, see that one there is unacceptable. I would have to pull that one out.
Would you?
Well, also I'm sewing it in black thread, which I'm not going to be doing.
No,
so if that was, you know, a neutral thread, it probably wouldn't bother me so much.
What colour would you use?
I have a light grey and a dark grey, and I just switch between the two.
Grey is an amazing colour.
It's an amazing colour. So if
blends.
if I'm going, if I'm using darker fabrics, dark grey, lighter fabrics, light grey. If it's a mix of the two, I'll just see what mood I'm in. Yeah, or I'll have a little go and see if it's showing.
Now, you see, because it was interesting, because when Tula Pink was on the show, she said that she likes to often quilt with variegated thread.
Yes.
Because
she uses so much colour, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does, and then she said also if you're not going to quilt straight, and so I use this with I quilt in a variegated English paper piece in a variegated thread, because then you're not drawn to that solid colour.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah.
And it was really pretty too.
And I actually don't whip stitch anymore. I use a different stitch entirely.
Hang on, what?
I know, where you so you don't see the thread.
I quite like seeing a little bit of thread.
Yeah, some people do.
What do you do
I don't mind it.
instead?
I use the flat back stitch where you put the pieces, you hold them together. I use a clip to hold it at the end. And it's like a whip stitch, but I'm just doing it flat from the back.
Oh, okay.
So then you don't see stitches on the front. And some people do use a ladder stitch. I've seen people use a fly stitch. There are lots of different...
So pick a stitch, any stitch, and
pick a stitch, any stitch, yeah, and see what works. But the idea is what you want is when you pull it, you don't want gaps. So if you pull it apart, I mean, I can't even pull that, but if I was to pull that apart and I can see holes, your stitches are too far apart.
Right.
Okay, so that's a good guide.
Yeah.
If you pull it and you can really see, then your stitches are too far apart.
Go back in and...
But I think sometimes people do lots and lots and lots of very, 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 very tiny ones. And I think you can get away with a little bit more space in between. But it's you just get into a rhythm, and so long as it holds it together. Yeah. That's all we want,
And
really.
it'll be quilted over the top as well.
And it will be quilted over the top.
We have 10 minutes left. What else do we need to show?
Have we really?
Yes.
Oh, no. OK, so if we are going to... Hang on, let me
Then
get this right.
Then we're talking about the table.
Yeah, OK, so... Oh, right, OK. So if we're going to machine sew...
Right,
okay,
yes.
and I will just say, if I don't get through this in time, all of the instructions for machine sewing it are in the pattern. So have no fear.
Great.
And it's very simple. The difference being the size of the template. So that's the paper pieces paper. That's my cheap... see the difference? That's my cheap office paper. Quality, cheap. The English paper piecing one has a 3/8 of an inch seam, which just makes basting and everything easier. But this one, obviously, we want a 1/4 inch seam.
Yes.
So this is with a 1/4 inch seam.
Okay.
So you can either make up a plasticky template or whatever, or you can draw around, drawing on the paper,
That's all right.
and cut it out. You can just use your ruler, against the template, but the tricky thing is if it were to shift, if it were to move as you're cutting it out.
Could you not just use the template that you get and then just change your seam allowance to 3/4 of an inch?
Yeah, you could do that as well. Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. But then your triangles, you would have to work that out.
But if you were using the same...
Oh, if you were to cut them from there. Yeah. Yes, fine. You could do it that way as well. Okay. Lots of options. That's okay. I think because I'm so used to sewing with a 1/4 inch...
Would it throw you?
It would completely throw me.
You see, I'm not...
I'm like default 1/4 of an inch.
I'm not dedicated to a 1/4 of an inch.
No.
I can go rogue.
Yeah. And then... I mean, you are being spoilt having those templates, really, because that makes it much, much easier. But this is, an alternative way of cutting out. So I have layered this, so I'm cutting 2 at once.
Okay.
With my ruler. And you can do even more, as many as you feel comfortable with. And because it's lawn as well.
It's finer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. You can probably get away with even more. So that's those bits. And then your... Oh, where have I put my... Here. And then your triangles, you're going to line up with your 60-degree line. Now, I always do this.
This takes me a moment.
The wrong way round.
To work out, hang on.
I know.
Which way?
Right, that's the 60-degree.
Spin it around. That way, there.
Is it that?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, so you just have to line it up on that.
On that edge.
On that edge there.
Because I've already cut one as well,
yeah,
so I'm completely thrown.
That's what's thrown you.
Oh, it's even got a line there. I love creative grids. They're just geniuses.
They know their stuff, don't
they?
So when you have a moment of what?
I know. Just move it. Keep moving it round because there's a line on that ruler.
It's like they're quilters designing for quilters, isn't it, Lucy?
And that 60-degree line you use as well to cut your larger diamonds. So your background shapes are just cut from a larger length. It's just doing the same thing. So you're cutting it like that on the angle. So that would be your strip, and you're cutting just those angles using your 60-degree line.
Again, full instructions there.
Yeah, and you can use the line. You know, some mats have a 60-degree angle on the mat as well, so you can do that as well if you want to. So then,
producer says that mat's 50% off. 50% off.
Oh, I just reminded me.
Teresa says, good morning, ladies. I most definitely need the thimble pad. I have left my DNA on every quilt I've ever made.
Yes.
Oops, says Teresa. Well, you know, heirloom.
And it just stops
a little bit of yourself.
Yeah, it
sewn
stops you getting those sort of callus, you know.
Yeah.
And that can get really sore. So it's good to, but don't do as I have done many times and just left it on and found yourself in the shop. Somebody thinks you've got some sort of
weird,
strange growth.
Well,
yeah, so put that back on. I'll just stick it on there for now. Okay. And you can stick it on any. It won't leave. It doesn't leave any residue on your finger. It doesn't leave mark when you stick it on anything. So don't, you know,
I need
stick it to anything that you like.
In my life.
Okay, I'm going to put this on.
Oh, it's going in.
Because I can't do it just like that. It will throw me. Oh, and I'll just hit the machine in the process.
So this is coming up next hour. This is a custom-made extension table. It's superb. But lots of you have been asking about it, and we will be talking about it next hour as well. Lucy just gets the privilege of... You're the first one that's got to use this, you know.
Am I?
Yeah. Oh. It was made specifically for this machine.
Oh, you're going to say for me? Thanks.
And you to use today.
Okay, so now I've got to find the... Oh, no, that's not right. Just need to find the right setting.
Oh, this isn't your machine, is it?
This isn't my machine.
Ah.
Mode.
What are you after?
So I've gone into mode 3.
Yep.
Do you think I just do? Yes.
Give it a go. So you will obviously...
They seem scary, but they make, you know...
Yeah.
It's just makes sense. It's got a little guide in here. That's what I'm looking at with all the stitches. You can't see it, but it's there. So that tells you everything that you need to know.
This is the 730. Lucy's own machine is the 680, isn't it? You ended up buying from us because you loved it so much.
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's a brilliant machine. So, oh, that didn't cut. Oh. So as you're sewing on your, do you want to, you do a better job at that than me.
What am I, oh.
So as you're sewing that on, you want your dog ears to overlap. 1/4 of an inch either side. You see those there?
Bing, bing.
Yeah, and then you can just press that back. And then you just repeat that on the other side.
There you go.
And you could, you know, you quickly see, you know, when you're doing this over and over again, you can just judge that it's 1/4 of an inch. But the best guide is when you take it to the sewing machine, where they meet, that's where you want your seam to be.
And also because it's a 60-degree triangle, it's an equilateral triangle, so it doesn't matter which side you go to it with, which just makes life easy.
Yes, it does. And that's it. So you're just doing that a few times. So by machine, it's incredibly quick because you can just chain piece.
Yes.
Them all, and then you just sew them together. So I've got a piece there.
I'm going to sew this on.
That was partly done. No, because what you're going to do is I'd make another one, sew them into pairs.
Yes.
And then sew those pairs together.
This is your choice. Whether you English paper piece, whether you machine stitch, it's entirely your choice. That is the beauty of this. And we've never done that before.
No.
We also have never taken £30 off the price of this quilt before. It's all happy days today.
And you could make 2 smaller quilts if you wanted to do one by hand and one by machine. You could do that.
There's enough in there,
and you could do a section So you could do maybe 4 of the kisses and add a border or something like that. And you could do this lots and lots of times, and you could use, you know, once you've used up your kit, you've still got the templates and everything. You've still got the papers if you're careful with it. So there's a lot you get from this. I'm
going to go and show everybody what you're getting in the kit. Thank you, Lucy. I'll be back in a minute to talk about this.
Yes.
But come with me and I will show you everything that is in there. You just have to add thread, basically. So you are saving £30. I've not done this before, not for this quilt. Saving £30 here. So it should have been £179.99 down to £149.99, and that is for everything. That is for all of your beautiful lawn fabrics. You've got, I think, did I say it was 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 7 different lawn fabrics. Then you get your lovely polka dot grey for all of your triangles, 480 of those. Then you get meters, I think it's around 8 meters or something ridiculous, of your backing fabric, your binding fabric, and your fabric for all of your diamonds. That's this beautiful cotton fabric here. Then you also get a huge, huge piece of 100% cotton wadding, which is just such a luxury. Absolutely beautiful, and it's absolutely enormous. And what's really lovely about this is if you fancy having a go at English paper piecing this, then look, in here you get all of the English paper pieces, all 240 hexes, 480 triangles, and you just remove the backing on these so they become see-through. That's just to keep them, that's what Lucy's been using, but that's just got a protective layer on. Just take that off and off you go. Or if you want the machine instructions, so whichever way you do it, you're covered. You've got that choice, which is absolutely lovely. Like Lucy says, maybe make a small one and do 2 and do 1 machine, 1 English paper piece. It's entirely up to you. And that is the utter beauty of this. And time, that is it. Everything else is in this bundle, is in this kit, which is really lovely. You know, sometimes it's just the patchwork front that you're paying for, but this has got absolutely everything. I don't know how long this price is going to be for. I have no idea. We've not been told. So I don't know if this is just for today only. I don't know. But what I would say to you is at this price, you would be, you know, if you've been eyeing up this quilt, you'd be silly not to go for it today. This bundle was made for us. So there isn't another bundle out there that has all of these components. This was put together for us so that we could offer it to you with everything to either do English paper piecing or to do it by machine. Entirely up to you. Over 20 of you have got this in your basket at the moment. So just you know, obviously, you know what it's like. Check out, and that's the only way to actually secure it. That's the way. But I certainly don't know if this is just a today-only deal. But it's £149.99. We've taken £30 off the price. Beautiful lawn fabrics, stunning quality, gorgeous design, top designer. We love it. We absolutely love it. Now, talking of something else that we love, Lucy, let's talk about this table. Now, we're going to give you all the details for this to buy next hour. So because this hour is really about the quilt, I'll keep those details up for you on the screen so that you can check out your baskets and make sure, because like I said, there's over 20 of you who've got that in your basket at the moment. It's important that you don't miss out on that. But Lucy, as a professional quilter extraordinaire, you are.
Oh, thanks.
Why is an extension table so important?
Okay, an extension table is incredibly helpful when you are quilting.
Right.
You can leave it on when you're piecing if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But what's really nice is that it gives you that larger surface area to work on. I'm just going to take that foot off because it's got the 1/4 inch on, so I don't want it to get in the way. Have I got a normal? I haven't got a normal foot. Just imagine that the normal foot is there. And what this allows you to do is to have all this space to work on. So even when, and this is a large quilt, you know, even when I'm going down here, it's keeping it nice and flat. So I've got that whole area versus literally just that. So all this area.
What I find is when I have a smaller surface area, I end up supporting this because otherwise it drags.
Yeah.
And I end up feeling it there.
Yeah, and quilting is hard
lovely.
work. There's no two ways around it. If you're quilting a large quilt, by the end of it, you do feel, you know, and you have to take breaks and be sensible. But it is a bit of a workout. So what's good is it's taking the weight, some of the weight of the quilt, but also if you're doing something like free motion quilting, so like here, it's going to help, you know, when you've gone through all that trouble of basting the quilt, you want everything to lay nice and flat. So it helps with that as well. And it just means you've just got a bigger area and it glides really beautifully over that table. So as I'm free motion quilting, I've got just that wider area to work with, and nothing is catching, you know, it's all of those edges, like we said before. You know, I could just stroke them because they're
lovely and
so
smooth, aren't they?
smooth. So it's not, it's not going to catch on anything. It's not going to drag. Even this edge here, it's what would you do? You know, it's not straight. It's
it's got that
it's
beveled.
got like like a beveled edge to it. So it's really, really smooth along here. So there's nothing going to catch
If you are
at all.
a Westerly ruler fan as well, they really recommend that you have a large extension table, and that's what you're getting with this. And the beauty is, because I know a lot of you are struggling to find these out there, this will be made for your machine. Custom made for your machine.
And it's a really thick acrylic as well, so it doesn't feel, it feels really weighty. It doesn't feel, you know, sort of plasticky or, you know, I mean, I realise that it is, but it's thick, so it's substantial. Yeah. Yes, it's substantial. It doesn't feel.
When you first started quilting, did you have an extension table?
No. Honestly, I look back on some of the quilts that I made and I don't know how I did it.
Really?
I really, really don't know how I did it.
Sweat and tears.
Yeah, a lot of hard work. This makes things so much easier to have that space.
So the thing that we are talking, I feel like I'm about to do a magic trick here. She's having worried. Ta-da! That's the extension table. That is what is coming up next hour, custom made to your machine's specifications. So as soon as we come back after the break, we are going to be offering this for the very first time. Very exciting.
Yeah, and even if you were, I know I've just been talking about free motion quilting, but even if you're straight line quilting, you put that guide on your walking foot, and very often, so my guide might, and you can use your guide that slots into your walking foot either side, but if I'm having it on this side, then the edge of the quilt's like dropping off the machine. So you've got all that extra space. So even if you're straight line quilting, it's a great thing to have.
Perfect. Lucy, thank you.
Thank you.
This will be back on straight after the break for all of you. Thank you for your messages. All of you have been messaging. This will be on after a very short break here. So at 10 o'clock, that is the time to stay tuned for this handy little gadget. See you in a minute.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more. Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level. Sewing Quarter is the UK's first TV channel dedicated to sewing and quilting. On air and behind the scenes, our team of top industry experts work hard to bring you tons of exciting projects. Whether you're into dressmaking, bag making, piecing, patchworking or quilting, you'll learn something new every day from our talented guest designers and fabulous presenters. Our online shop is packed with tools, haberdashery essentials and fabulous fabrics, from simple solids to designer gems. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee and single daily postage charge, you can shop with confidence. So tune in daily on Freeview 78, Sky Channel 678 and shop online at sewingquarter.com.
Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue comes with a free gift.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do a ladder stitch. Now this is a great stitch when you want to sew something up and create an invisible stitch. And first of all, I'm just going to use the example of something like a pincushion, but I need to bring these two edges together using the invisible stitch, which is known as the ladder stitch. So first of all, I'm going to take my needle up through the fold. So I'm going to be concealing the knot in the thread. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle in through the fold of the fabric and come out. So you can see that I'm on the actual fold there, so obviously there's the raw edges are inside my pincushion. I'm going to take that through. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side and repeat that stitch, so I want to make sure that this is parallel. So I'm going to come in through that fold and come out. So again, I'm making these stitches really big so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see how I'm going across the whole of the fabric. So if I just keep doing a few stitches. So as you can see, we have the ladder stitch there going across the two pieces of fabric. So when I pull my thread, you can see that almost makes those stitches invisible.
Never mind going to the market, we think this little piggy is going to steal your heart. The latest softie from fabulous toy maker Joe Carter was first seen in Simply Sewing magazine and is the prettiest pink piglet we have ever seen. Made from super soft pink fleecy fabric, this piglet will make the perfect present for a little one, or simply add to your own collection of super huggable soft toys. So, be sure not to miss out on Joe's Pink Piglet on Friday, the 27th of April at 9 AM. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Hello, welcome back. Yes, this is the hour so many of you have been messaging in about, waiting for, with a lot of excitement. So this is what the excitement has all been about. Anybody that has done any amount of quilting will know that actually, unless you have a large extension table, it puts a bit of extra stress and pressure, and this solves a lot of that. So what we have here is a deluxe extension table. You've got, to stop that wobble, I don't know about you, my extension table came with my machine. It's not the greatest, I'll be honest, and it's got horrible wobble on it. But with this, you've got 5 different legs on here, and these are all adjustable. So even if you don't have, if you've got a wobbly table, then it doesn't matter. You can adjust these to be exactly the height that suits you, that works for you, and is absolutely perfect. Because, say, you know, earlier we had this over our cutting mat as well. So it might be that you want these slightly shorter to take into account that you've got that cutting mat as well. So they're fully adjustable. Now, each of these will be made for your machine. Okay, so all you need to do is buy it from us. We will then, and we'll give you all those details in a minute. So you buy from us, and then we will send you the details of the company. You give them a ring, you tell them the make and model of your machine, and they will make it to your machine's specifications. Now, obviously, you need to have a machine that has this free arm, okay? If you've got one that's already what we call a flatbed, then you don't need an extension table. So, but that's it. There are a couple of exceptions, Janome machines which are the 8,000 and 9,000 models, 9,500, 9,700, 10,000 and 11,000. And that's just due to the height of the free arm. They can't custom them, but all other machines, major brands, all covered. We're talking Pfaff, Husqvarna, we're talking Brother, Bernina, Singer, Elna, Janome, apart from the ones we just mentioned, John Lewis as well. So all of those major brands are covered and sorted, okay? So all you need to do, like I say, is buy from us, then we will give you the company's details, and they will then, you'll have a code then from us that they will then tick off against their list. There's no extra postage either. This is still under your £2.95 P&P per day. So if you've already bought the quilt or something from earlier on, this is still in with the same postage, even though this is an external company. So, and it's going to be custom made for your machine. If you've got more than one machine, you're going to have to decide which one you do the most quilting on, and go for that machine. Because I know, some of you have got more than one. Lots and lots of questions. So here are the details coming up for you. So custom made deluxe extension table, $99.95. You think how much quilt? You think actually is this worth a stiff neck or a sore shoulder or anything like that? Also built in along here, you've got centimeters and inches all the way along there as well. Your 5 adjustable feet. This is a nice thick solid table as well. It's going to last and last and last. You've got, like I say, fully adjustable for the height here to suit you and your table and the workspace that you use. And then when you get it home, all you have to do, and it really is as easy as that, just lower it down like that. Now you see, obviously I've been playing with this one here, so I would just lower that down. There you go. So we asked them to make this for our excellent 730. So this is now custom made for this machine. So if I want, you see, I've been playing with all these feet, haven't I? Wrong way around. But you see, if you've got any kind of wobble or you're working on an uneven base, then there we go. You've got that, and that is now nice and secure. And then you just work your way around and make sure that all the feet are then touching the floor, and then you are good to go. Look at the extra size that I now have here. It is incredibly large. It's lovely and smooth around the edges, so nothing's going to get caught around these edges. Now, flatbed machines, they're not cheap, are they? Let's be honest. This is a far more cost-effective way of getting that really large surface area. And it's lightweight too. It's sturdy, but lightweight. So you can, if you want to, if you're taking your machine, you can take it with you. That's no problem at all. This will come direct from the manufacturer. So we will send you the code. That will arrive. You then ring the manufacturer with your details of your machine. They will then make it especially for you. So I think under £100 for something that is made specifically for your machine, I think that's great. I think that's absolutely great. When you think how much buying the next stage up of your machine would cost, upgrading your machine to hopefully then get a larger extension table, might not even be as big as this one, this is the far more cost-effective way. So it is the deluxe version. We've chosen to offer you the really good quality deluxe version here, because you deserve it, quite frankly. We want you to be able to get the best out of your quilting. We want you to have the most comfortable way of doing it that you possibly can. So we do feel, very passionately about the fact that an extension table is a really important way forward. If you are into your westerly rulers, again, they do recommend having a lovely large extension table. It's the difference, isn't it? Your normal extension table is going to finish about there. And look how much extra you've got. It's like an extra 8 inches along there. Because then otherwise, if it starts to fall off, then your stitches, you know, you get drag, you've got to try and get your arm up underneath it and haul it and really try and support it. It's just not as much fun, and you end up wrestling with your quilt. Make life easy. If quilting is what you love to do and you do it regularly, it's one of those things, isn't it? As a beginner, you might feel a bit guilty for sort of investing in it, but actually, it's one of those things that once you have, you're going to wonder how you ever managed without it. Now, if you have any questions about the brands of machines, just give us a call, 0800 112 4433. They have a list of the very, very few that they don't do, okay? And it's the higher end, it's some of the higher end Genomes. That's it, some sort of like the 9,000 versions upwards. But if you have any queries, just give our customer services a call. They've got the list there. And then you get your code, you get a note, and that will have the details that you would then ring up the manufacturers. I think there's an order number or an order code or something that you then would say to them. They can then tick you off the list. Stops people ringing up saying, I ordered from Sewing Quarter, but obviously you've got to have the relevant paperwork, which we will send to you. And then you redeem, you know, it's like having a voucher. You then redeem it, and they will make it to your machine's specification. So if you have a machine, a favorite machine that you always quilt on, that you absolutely love to quilt on, and the only quibble is that really, you know, you just wish it had a larger extension table. I know that a lot of you have been looking and looking out there and asking and saying, I wonder if it's something my husband could make. Poor husbands. These guys know how to do it. They do it professionally. They do it properly, without any faff or damage to the machine as well. You know, if you are doing a bit of a Heath Robinson affair and trying to make something for yourself, the danger is you'll damage your machine. So this is how easy it is to attach and take away again. There it is, off, and then just, as Lucy says, it basically just drops on. Whereas with my extension table, I've got to sort of ram it. It's really annoying. This one, so smooth because it's been made specifically for this machine. It just glides in. And this is all about the glide for me. So it's about having these lovely rounded edges so that nothing catches. It's not going to damage your fabric. It's not going to get caught. You're not going to get part way, especially if you're free motioning. You're not going to get part way and then be like, oh, hang on a minute. So none of that. It's lovely and smooth. Both sides as well, because especially if you're free motioning, you are going to be moving around all over the place and coming from there, all directions. You're going to be able to do that, and it's smooth. Also, do you know the other thing is, because it's see-through, if you drop something you can see it underneath, but also it's not obtrusive. Like, you don't look and go, oh my word, what's that big plastic thing in the corner? You don't, because it's see-through, so visually it doesn't seem to take up that much space. So it's, you know, it's just one of those things that it's nice. And also if you have to storage, again, it's not one of those, what's that ugly thing in the corner? None of that, because it's see-through. You've got these lovely adjustable legs, 5 of those as well. So it's always going to be whatever surface, because you might set it up for yourself at home, but then you might go off to a quilting retreat or a workshop or something like that, take it with you, and the table be uneven or wobbly or something. Just undo your legs a little bit. We all commented on the quality of this in the office. It's lovely and thick as well. It feels really sturdy. You see a lot of flimsy ones out there which just aren't going to do the job. There are always going to be cheaper versions, but they're cheap for a reason. And you just, if you are serious about your quilting, in fact, here we go. If you have worried about quilting because you don't have a proper extension table and so you find it a struggle and you send your quilts off to be quilted, this is less expensive. One table is less expensive than sending your quilt off to be quilted. So once you have the proper kit, it's less expensive than sending your quilt off to be quilted. Now, we have this, and look, it even says here, so maybe, you know, you've got a couple of machines and you're getting one for each. And they will put the label on there. It says, Horn Large Extension Table, Elna EX730. So we know that this table fits this machine because we had it custom made for this machine, which is just excellent. Now, so whether you've got Elna, Genomi, Brother, Benina, Faf, Hafskavana, who else was there? Just John Lewis, or Toyota, yeah, all those makes of machines, you're good. You're good. If you have any, and actually, if you look on our website, underneath where this is listed, there's the list there. There's a handful, there's 5 or 6 there that it doesn't cover. Everything else, you're good to go. You've also got your inches, your centimeters along here. We know that you've been mating months for this, especially a lot of you westerly ruler users. I know you've been waiting for this. It's just taken us a while to source one that we were happy with. You know, that's the thing. Yes, there are ones out there, but the joy is that our buyers are able to go, try them, check the quality of them, check that we're happy to bring it to you, and we are, because we know that this is going to be tailor-made to a really high standard for you. Because otherwise, you know, it's like, well, this is why we dress make, isn't it? Because one size fits no one. And so it's the same with your extension table. If you're expecting to get a cheap one that will go, they say go, you know, universal fit or something, it doesn't. It just doesn't fit anything right. Whereas this one will be made for your machine. Perfect. 1/3 of the stock has already been checked out on these. Okay, so at this moment. So I know that you know, if you're watching this on repeat, ring up and check details as well. We will bring it again, but today 1/3 of the stock has already gone. This is the very first time we've ever brought it to wear because so many of you have been asking. You know, this is one of those things. We are really lucky that we're able to respond to demand. And this has been one of those things that so many of you have asked for. We're going, yeah, do you know what? We'll find you a good one. Not just any old one. We're going to find you a good one. And this is it. It's a lovely sight, and it just feels so smooth as well. That's why it's got all of our sticky fingerprints on it, because we've all gone, oh yeah, no, it feels lovely. It feels lovely. And I really like it. It looks like, you know, on those antique tables, you have those fancy legs. It feels a little bit like that. But there you go. Fully adjustable. $99.95. If you've got any questions, message in, email in. We'd love to hear from you. But I think, you know, it does the job and it does it well. That's it, you know. Nice, nice. Now, should we have a look at some fabric? Because obviously you're going to need a bit of that, aren't you? Now, let's have a look. What have we got here? Oh! You know what I've got here, Producer Hannah? La, 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 la. Tulip Pink. Fat quarters. This is from the All-Star range. Big fan of these. Have we really never had these on air? Apparently not. And that was from our manager Hayley. She says these have never been to air. I say, brilliant. Let's show them to you today. So I know some of you managed to get the 10-inch charm packs, the 5-inch charm packs, and the jelly rolls the other day. Well done. What we didn't offer you on that day were these, and these are your fat quarters. So if I just show you the size of your fat quarter here, and this is from Tulip Pink's latest range. That's the size of your fat quarter. Yeah. 23 of these. Look at the different colorways. So I've got 2. This is your, there you go, these are your greens. These are fab, and I just love them because what Tula does so incredibly well here is also give you some nice, great quality solids as well, so that if you are going to do some sort of color tones, then you can really work through that color wheel. It's just exquisite, and we really do love these here at Sewing Quarter. The quality, exceptional, really love that. So if you're after your blues, your purples, your greens, they just keep coming around. Look at these. So you've got your pom-poms, you've got your stripes. Is this difficult for you to see from here, or is this all right? Here we go. Aren't they stunning? Really do love these. So I would be tempted to use these in order, just because I'm a bit like that. Oh, there's a thread. There you go. So this here is your 23-piece fat quarter all-stars pom-poms from Tula Pink. We haven't offered this to you before. We've had it by the half meter, but but not the solids actually, not the solids that have gone. But here it is. Look at that. Love that. That is one colorway. This has got your purples, your teals, your greens, your pinks in there, and some of your lovely blues. And some of these on our website are now sold out. Producer Hannah, you are really, really far away. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. So there we go. That is our first option. Brand new today. It's a good day today, isn't it? We like a lot. Right, next option for you. Producer Hannah's getting very excited. This is my favourite. Here we go. These, do you know, did anybody used to eat party rings when they were kids? You know, those little, yeah, that's what these remind me of. In my head, that's where I'm at. Right, let's move some of these out of the way. So, they both have pom-poms and stripes. It's a little bit confusing, but this one is called Stripes. So let's see how we can set these out. Oh, is this your colourway, Producer Hannah? Is this your one? This is the best in the world. So no exaggeration there from Producer Hannah. This is, in her opinion, the best in the world. Oh, this is what you would get from your... Would you use it, though, or would you just sit there and look at it? No, you should just look at it. It's fine. You're getting quite a good stash as well, aren't you, Producer Hannah, I have to say. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. It's all good. And at some point, you might even use it. Oh, yeah, this is why this is your favourite. I see. I see these colours. I love it with the blue. She's so bold with her colour use. Superb. So if you're after these colours, if you're like Producer Hannah and you love the greens and the vibrancy and the ochres, but you've got pinks in there as well. This is reminding you of a coral reef under the sea. Well, why not? Oh, Producer, this is transport. You're going all over the place today, you are. This is making her think of scuba diving in a coral reef under the sea. Perfect. There you go. So if you would like these ones, and in these, again, 23 pieces here. And again, you get your plains, you get your stripes, you get your pom-poms, all in there. So it's just a matter. Do you want to see it next to the other one so you can see which colourway you want? That was the first one, and this is the one that is on your screen. So this is called Stripes, and this one's called Pom-Poms. Bit confusing because they've all got pom-poms, stripes, and plains in, but we'll go with it. Doesn't matter. So this one here is the one that is on your screen there. This one is down the bottom there. Okay? But do you know what? Either one, I'd be absolutely thrilled. They're gorgeous, aren't they? They do look like party rings. Used to love those. I could eat a whole packet of those all in one go. In one sitting. And this is like your fabric version of. Just gorgeous. So less than £4 fat quarter as well. So $82.99, which is very reasonable for designer fabric. You know, it is. So it's sort of the amount that you expect. So just beautiful. And it's here, it's in the UK, we have stock of it, and it's $82.99. Remember that when Tula does a print run, when she's done it, she's done it. You know, so also some of these colours will work beautifully through with some of her other designs and other collections as well. Just beautiful. So that is your stripes on the screen there. That is your stripes. And then if you want the pom-poms, they are your pom-poms. So you're getting exactly the same number of fat quarters, 23 fat quarter pieces in each. It's just which colorways you want. That's all you've got to decide, is which colorways work with your stash, which you bought. Maybe you bought some of our 1/2 meter lengths, and now, you know, you're trying to, maybe you bought like what I call the feature fabrics, you know, the ones with the frogs, and now maybe you want these to then complement and go with gorgeous. Gorgeous. We've got some tools. Come on, let's go and have a look. Oh, and the books that we ran out of time with. Yeah. Now then, let's have a look. It's got a wire issue here. Move that out of the way. There we go. Right. Now, should we go? Yeah. Let's go a book. Do you want to, as we're talking about quilting, let's have a little look on how to quilt. So, a lot of you now messaging in saying, I'm just starting out quilting. Maybe you've been a dressmaker, maybe you're brand new, maybe this is just a new hobby that you can't resist. Wherever you're at, this book here, I really rate it as a beginner's manual on how to quilt, because, you know, sometimes it's very easy for us to say certain terminology that you might not know. But this, so if I say a plique or something like that, or basting or wadding or batting, you might go, what's the difference between wadding and batting? It's all covered in here. How to cut, all of those different things. Plus, it's really beautifully put together as well. The photography is lovely. You don't get my flamingo markers. No, they're my own. I'm very happy about these. I think the director, Tim, has flamingo envy. He's going to a wedding in a flamingo enclosure. Isn't that just the best? I almost want to get remarried, obviously to the same man, but you know, because in the flamingo enclosure, I didn't know you could do that. Amazing. And he wants the flamingo fabric from yesterday so that he can make a shirt for the wedding. So your basic rules for patchwork. I think this is a great place to start. The very basic do's and don'ts, what's expected. And also, you know, colours, patterns, types of fabrics, because that can be the thing that stops you from getting involved, is that actually, you know, what kind of fabric, what's okay to quilt with, what isn't, is it can be a stumbling block. Yeah, but you know, sometimes when it just gets a bit too much, you do sort of go, I'm not sure, I don't know where to go. What is it okay to stitch with? What am I meant to do that? Wadding, batting, what's that all about? Interface, do I need interfacing? What's going on? It's all covered in here, and that's the really nice thing about it. Those questions that you've thought about messaging in and then thought, that's a bit too silly to ask. There are no silly questions, first of all, but sometimes I know that you do feel like, you know, someone might laugh at you, and that's okay. This book's got it all covered here. Or if you've just got a shocking memory like me and you know you've asked the question, you can't quite remember what the answer was, go and look it up. Go and look it up. You've got your sewing basics, it's beautifully set out, even down to how to pin. When do you pin, in which direction, how to iron. It's one of those questions I ask every designer, which way are we, how am I ironing this for you? Do I open, shut, one way, the other way? And then we talk about hand stitching basics as well. So maybe you want to do your English paper piecing, and you've heard Lucy say you need a whip stitch. Well, what's a whip stitch? It's covered here. So step by step, and also, you know, sometimes photography can't quite get in and show you the bits that you want. Here it's all covered. So it's all very beautifully done. It talks about machine stitch basics as well. That's all covered, and so on and so forth. And it's also got projects, yes. Ones that aren't too daunting. So if the idea of doing an entire quilt English paper piece is a bit much, don't worry. We've got smaller projects for you as well. And then it shows you step by step where to pin, how to do it, right sides, wrong sides, all that sort of thing. And then you get different projects like this throw. Don't you just want to snuggle under it? Looks amazing, doesn't it? I'm imagining a roaring fire up in a Scottish drafty house somewhere. Little castle, but that's what I'm saying. But again, it shows you how to lay it out, how to do it. Really breaks it down step by step, which is lovely. And then it gives you lots of different techniques and and things that aren't too much to start off with. I really want one of these. I really want to make one of those. So actually useful things too, and things that you can gift, things that you can make and actually give to people and be, you know, proud that you've made. And then things like mitered corners. We talk about mitered corners. We rarely have time to go through them. And if you miss the few shows where we have mitered corners, you might be thinking, oh, again, another term that we all worry about. Then it's covered. It's all covered. And then I like this. Look at this bed cover. Isn't that beautiful? So the new skills that you've learnt, you know, you might want to do your 9 patch or just, you know, plain. I just think it's beautiful. So this is $7.99, an incredibly useful book. Lots of ideas, teaches you how to do techniques, then gives you practical suggestions as to how to then put those techniques into practice. So that would be, if you're new or you've got, I'm trying to whip it out the camera, if you've got someone maybe who's new or who you want to tempt into the wonderful world of quilting, then that is a great book to have. Now, do you want to do produce? Oh, more fabric. Let's go this way. God, haven't got my pedometry thing on today, producer Hannah, making me do my steps. No, it's all right. Don't worry. It's good to move. What would you like to look at? The jelly. Oh, design rolls, jelly rolls. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Joel. Do you want to do the Joel Dewberry one first? Okay. This was the first collection that we brought to you from Joel Dewberry. And we have used this so many times in so many ways. In fact, we were having a little tidy out and I found one of the very first bags that I made for On Air. It wasn't really meant to be for An Air, but I just was really proud of it and I brought it in. And I look at it now, obviously, and there are a lot of mistakes in it, but it was made out of this fabric and I was really pleased with myself because I'd made something. And you know, we've all got that starting point, haven't we? So for me, it's sentimental. But here we go. This is under about £1 a strip, isn't it? Yeah, just over £1 a strip. $44.99. You are getting 40 pre-cut, accurately cut. If you're a wobbly cutter, hands up, who's a wobbly cutter? Then getting a pre-cut. And actually, also, there are so many fabulous books that they're all designed with quilts just out of pre-cuts. So we'll have a look. Oh, we've got some Pam and Nikki Lintop books. They are exactly the people that I'm thinking of that do love a pre-cut and have sold, I think, over 35,000 books on pre-cut quilts, quilts with pre-cut. So what I love about this one is that you've got your blues, your teals, your yellows. In fact, I was English paper piecing with some of that just last night from a leftover jelly roll, actually. And so you've got all these colours. That grey, that bluey grey purple just sits in there beautifully. So if you're making for little boys, little girls, then it doesn't matter. Those colours are in there. You've got the greys in there as well, and the blues if you're making for, yeah, look, you see, it's not all about, it is fresh and modern and just really lovely. $44.99, ZJRW02. Nice. We've got under 10 of those left, so if you did want one of those, and this is one that we've had this from the start, haven't we? From the start of the channel, we've loved it so much, we've kept reordering it, but we're now down to under 10. Right. Heather Bailey, yes. So when you get your design roll, it will come all neatly like this. But let's be honest. As soon as that elastic band's off it, looks like this. Which is great because it means that I can show you. I get my great big ironing board out and I drape across my ironing board. But again, and just a thing to note with your 2.5-inch strips, which is what you're getting here, the 2.5 is measured to the bottom of the pinked bit. Okay, so not from the top, from the lowest point there. Okay, so just so that you know when you're working with them. Where is that 2.5-inch? These look fabulous. You're getting such an array of colours. If you have, this is the True Colours design roll. If you have any of the Heather Bailey Hello Love range, these colours are the exact colours in there. So you can get this. And you can match the colours with complete confidence, knowing that the colours are going to be the same from the Hello Love range, or you might just want this as a standalone range because it's fab. Then it's entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. So here they all are. And I just love the different patterns in this, the bold colourways. It's a beauty. I need a bigger desk. Is this one of your favourite design rolls, is it? You just love the bright colours, don't you, Producer Hannah? You should really live somewhere really sunny, shouldn't you, and colourful, and yet here you are in Birmingham. That's okay. There we go. And we see they're still coming with these. So you might get I think it's a couple of each of these, because you're getting 40 different pieces, all pre-cut, ready to go. I think I'm down to there you go, the last ones. There they are. Whew. Sit down after that. I can't really fold that all back up again, no, sorry about that. Soz. There you go, this is how it looks when it comes to you. Then once you've rifled, this is then how it will look when you've had a good rummage through, which is more realistic. How many of the, oh, do you want to do the next one? Okay. I've really worn the wrong colour to be looking at jelly rolls. Oh, do you know what? Top tip with these, when you get it home, I can't leave that on the desk looking like that. We all know design rolls are awkward, right? When you get it home, someone said to me, because you know they shed, like the little pinked bit. Is this sold out now? Well, I'll just tell you anyway. You get your little handheld hoover, and just hoover the top of it, and it just takes the little bits off. That's Amy Butler now sold out, but you could do it with your Joe Drewbury. Just to hoover it, or get a lint roller, and then it just takes any fluff off that's on there, because all the edges are pinked. So that's just my top tip for you. Oh, lesson 6 of these. We started with about 10. Now lesson 6. Oh, it's coming undone. Oh no. Oh, it'll just have to fall in someone's bag somewhere. Oh, look, the label's coming over there. Right, let's go over here. Now, yeah, walk away, it wasn't me. Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Let's have a look at the Pam and Nikki Lintott book. This is huge. Now, I'm gonna have this out here. Pam and Nikki Lintott are a mother-daughter duo. They have their own shop, and they love to design beautiful quilts. They've sold over 35,000 books, which means, you know, they know a thing or two about quilts. And what they really love to do is give you the opportunity to get quilts done and get them done beautifully and get them done using pre-cuts. A lot of the time that's jelly rolls, charm packs, whatever it is that they're after you. But this one is 18 designs to make from your fabric, and this is to make it go further. So the 2 from 1 is that from one design roll, jelly roll, you can now make 2 quilts. When I first looked at it, I thought that it was, Susanna's singing me, to become one. She's beautiful. She's had all sorts of songs in her head this morning, which have driven us all mad. No, it's fine. They don't have to listen to you. Now, the quilts. You might recognize this one, and you might recognize this one. They are from the same jelly roll. So what you've got left over from doing your bears or design roll, jelly roll design roll set, 2.5-inch strips. Everyone's a critic. Then what you have left over from that design roll, jelly roll, 2.5-inch strip pack, you then use to do that one. It's lovely, isn't it? It's a really lovely idea. And so you can see up here, same again. So those 2 from 1. So this is about making your fabric go further. So you can do these in any of your jelly rolls. When I first looked at it, I thought they were reversible. I thought you did one side and one the other, which you could do. but it means you're only seeing half of it, and it's a bit of a waste, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? So what they are excellent at, Pam and Nikki, are giving you step-by-step instructions. If you subscribe to one of our magazines, you might recognise their name and think, oh yeah, no, I've seen some of their quilts. They're rather beautiful. It does look a bit like a Battenberg, doesn't it? I used to love Battenberg quilt. We always used to have Battenberg quilt when we went to see my great-gran. Really pretty. So pick the one that you love, the colours that you love, and get going. And I think it was 18 designs? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, 18 designs using it. Producer Hannah is apparently nodding in agreement, which is great because I can't see her. Square Dance and Strip the Willow. Gosh. Great names. Yeah. So you can do your Square Dance, that's your Square Dance, or you've got Strip the Willow. Oh, look at that! The Square Dance is massive. Look at that. And that is your Strip the Willow. Pretty. So this is from what you've got left over from doing the Square Dance. I think it's lovely. Did you used to have to do square dancing and country dancing at school? Oh, yeah, we had to do country dancing as well. And then I only joined the Brownies because they used to do the maypole dancing on May Day. And then they made me do country dancing instead because I was too young to do the maypole dancing. That was it. I quit the Brownies in a strop. I was like, you're not going to let me do that. I'm out of here. No boys wanted to be your partner, Hannah, for country dancing. That's tragic. Oh, yeah, but there was always someone that had to go with the teacher because there were uneven numbers. Oh, that was you. Yeah, but normally if you do square dance, you have to do-do and swap a partner, don't you? Couldn't have always been you on your own. Oh, country dance. Oh, you had to go with a boy then. Oh, well, Producer Hannah, that's life, I'm afraid. Look at this. Look at these step-by-step instructions. Aren't they lovely? And very easy to follow as well. I love this because this is where these quilts look super intricate, but they're all sewn together. The strips are all sewn together before and then you just cut them. Brilliant. If you've got your stripology, lovely. Oh, you want to have a look at another one, but I've got so much more to show you. Love it. Love it. Oh, apparently you can look at it when you get it home. $14.99. The Carolyn Forster one. We had her on a show ages ago. She's lovely. Really lovely. She hasn't come back yet. I think she's just got very, very busy. Because she writes a lot for the magazines, but she was such a lovely guest to have on. Did you never meet her? Oh, there you go. There it is. So Jelly Roll Quilts and Gifts. I'm hoping this might have Ollie the Octopus in it. I think this is the book. Aren't we all? Well, yeah, absolutely. Carolyn is very good at incredibly, easy to follow step-by-step instructions. It's now very easy step-by-step instructions how to do your cutting. Because let's face it, your quilt is gonna be governed by how well you cut the pieces in the first place. So step-by-step instructions as to how to do all of that, which is lovely. And then you get some of your different ideas, techniques, different quilts, layering and basting, all the sorts of, again, all of these questions that you want to know. And then let's have a look at your projects. The projects! Here they are. And so you can, you've got them here to see. I like that bag. I want to do that bag. Oh, this might not be the one with... So it doesn't just do quilts. So if you don't have enough fabric left over for a project, maybe you've already done a quilt and you've got some left over, then why not make a matching bag? Or a bag to roll your quilt up if you're giving it to a friend. Look at that. That's a colourful one, isn't it? So that will, yeah, it will be take time, but why not do some little flowers and things like that? You've got other ones in there as well. Some bags. Ah, look at that. I think that's a stunner. And look, when it's broken down into that, doesn't that look a lot less daunting than that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the pattern that Yeah. Nice. Oh, look, yeah, look at these. Aren't they great? I had to go rifling through my husband's trousers today to find the car keys. Didn't leave them in our special car key place. Nobody woke up. Honestly, I could have been taking anything. Here we go. This is your, oh, I like this. I think this was the one that we did on the show with her, which was lovely. And she brought in the quilt. But then if if that's too daunting for you, just try one and stuff it with a bit of lavender. So it's entirely up to you. If you're someone that wants to give it a go, try a little bit first, then you've got that option. Lovely. Oh, I like that old style machine there. I don't think that's for sale with it. There we go. Fabulous. That's $12.99 with lots of different size and time-taking ideas. Right. Now then, underneath here is the cutting mat we saw earlier. Now, I need to shout about this. It is half price whilst stocks last. So I don't think we will be getting this back in. So cutting tools and accessories, 50% off. Hundreds of these you've bought from us. So this is just until, when does this finish? Until it's all sold out. It is a stocks last situation. So it was $39.99 down to $19.99. I thought that was, I just thought you said something different there, Producer Hannah. I was just double checking. So this is A1. It's the biggest cutting size that we do. It's a self-healing cutting mat. Hey, wasn't Lucy's tip about watering your cutting mat? Especially, not like with a watering can or anything like that. No, don't do your tomato plants into your cutting mat. I'm not talking about that. But just giving it a little bit of moisture helps to re-heal. This is a self-healing cutting mat. Obviously, in certain environments, it can be a little bit drying. But so I've never heard of that top. That's a top tip. Thank you, Lucy, for that. I'd been inadvertently doing that when I got sticky stuff on and just wiping it over with a baby wipe. So mine's always been great. Lovely. This is inches. Okay, I know that somebody asked earlier, is this centimetres? No, this is in inches. Legally, we have to give you centimetres because life is mad. And it's just inches on this side, okay? But you do get a nice inch grid on here. At half-inch increments and quarter of an inch gives you your dots. So you've got all of that for quick, easy references. But do have a look at all of our Sew & Quarter own branded, and this is only on our own branded stuff, 50% off. We've got rulers, we've got cutting mats, we've got all sorts. So make the most, because look at this, what's $39.99 down to just $19.99. Happy days, and this is the largest one that we do. Hurrah. The rotary cutter in yellow, you mean the Alpha one, this one? Now, this is one, again, if you're starting out, get a great rotary cutter. And this one is actually the style that I use because, firstly, like that, it's little hands, and in my house that is a thing, little hands are not going to get into that. But you unlock it there, and then you squeeze and engage the blade. I think it was Joy said the beauty of this is she has lots of ladies in the summer come to her workshops, and they're busy cutting away, and they've come in sandals, flip-flops, because it's warm. As soon as that is released, that blade is safe again. So even if you do accidentally drop it or knock it off the table, it's safe. You're not going to slice your toe or anything like that. It's little bits of safety, and I wouldn't have even thought of that, but it's obviously happened to someone she knows in the past. So safe, it's just, the blade becomes engaged as soon as you squeeze. If you want to lock it on out, then you can if you've got lots to do, but then it's just lock it out. If you are left-handed, you simply undo that, switch the blade over, and then you're left-handed and you are good to go. Bing, 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 off you go, which is $24.99. Worth the investment, always worth the investment. Now, the other rotary cutter is a big one. This is your Clover. This is your 60 mil. Now, if you are cutting, say you are doing one of the Pam and Nikki Lintop quilts, but you've decided to cut your own 2.5-inch strips, and you've got a lot of cutting to do, go with a really large rotary cutter. It just eats into it. Job done. $24.99. You've got nice rubbery soft bits in all the right places there, and then pull back there, exposes the blade, and then when you're done, there, and off you go. You can see that we use this a lot. Could do with a bit of a clean, but that's just because because we've used it so much. Wow, love it. Right, let's go have a look at some more charm packs. Come with me. Producer Hannah, you just get me exercising today. Is that all this is? Yeah. It's fine. It was just you, Producer Hannah, that had coffee this morning. No one else. I think I am doing her energetic bits for her. Now, I'm going to call this a layer cake because it's 10 inches. But if you want to call it a 10-inch charm pack, it's also correct. Tomatoes, tomatoes, or if you're Producer Hannah, potatoes, potatoes. I don't know whoever calls it a potato. It's slightly different, Producer Hannah, but we all know what you mean. Now, Tim Holtz is a fabulous designer. I think you get 2 of each of these. And I really rate him. The quality is stunning and superb. And 10 inches, there's so much that you can do with these. Let's just get a few of these out so you can really get a nice idea. This is from the Foundation collection. Tim Holtz, if you are any kind of paper crafter, you might recognize I think he was paper crafting first. Certainly in my world, that's where I knew him from first, and very well renowned and known for his distress inks and things like that. So the clever thing about Tim is that he's managed to take that lovely distressed look and transfer it into fabric, which I just love. I bought his fat quarter pack. I think we're sold out of it now, and I have to say I absolutely love it. And it's all ironed, and I'm just at that stage going, now what do I do with it? It's that exciting point. Now I think actually this is one of Producer Paul's favourites because I've come up to the butterfly bit. The butterflies, but you can just see how these go so gorgeously together. And there's such a lovely mix in here as well. So you've got some script, but you can see how that shabby chic, that sort of Victoriana, yesteryear sort of look is coming through. Producer Hannah, I can't really hear you. Oh, lovely. Oh, there's your map. I love that map one. It's just a fabulous collection. And this is just some of them. Aren't they wonderful? I'm enjoying these. I'm now rapidly running out of desk space. So that just gives you an idea of what you're getting in here. All 10 inches, 42 10 inches. We have to write 25 centimetres because that's the crazy world we live in. But it's 10 inches. 10-inch charm pack, layer cake, whatever you want to call it, that's what you're getting. And you're getting 42 of these. And I loves them. Poor floor manager Chris has just come in and gone, oh, not more to tidy up after you. Sorry. Now, Tudor Fat Quarters, brand new today. Which colourway? I'm not going to lay them all out again. Poor Chris has worked hard enough already this morning. Let's have a look at the pom-poms, which is the darker one. That is your pom-poms. You are getting 23 fat quarter pieces in there for £82.99. Fabulous. So if you've loved the new Tula ranges that we launched, 7th of February was when she came in and she launched her latest collections. This works with all of those fabrics. Just beautiful. Standalone, stunning. If you want to mix it through with some of the half meters that we still have on the website, go for that as well. Throw some of those in, mix and match it all through. If you would like the other colorway, and this is producer Hannah's favorites, it's more sort of tutti-frutti, isn't it? That's what I kind of think of. Holidays and ice creams and sorbets and circuses and all that kind of stuff. $82.99, TKRW89 is your code for that one. Or which one's most popular, producer Hannah? Level pegging. I bet there are multi-bars now. Sorry, just caught me hitching up my trousers. It's not an attractive look, is it? Lots of people have bought both. Good, good. Don't blame you. Do not blame you. Have you bought this yet? Have you got this in your basket? Have you got it checked out? Last I left it, over a third of the stock had been checked out. So here's how it works. When you buy this today, let me take it away. We had this tailor-made, and this is what these are. These are custom-made for your machine. And it says on here, it says large extension table. There we go, let me spin it around here. So up here, we know exactly which one of our machines, because, you know, we've got a few, like you, we've got a few. Your large extension table for the Elna EX730. So we always know which one that is going to work on. Now, down here, you've got your centimeters and inches for a quick reference. You never know when you're going to need to, you know, measure something quickly. Then you've got your centimeters and your inches down there. Now, let me explain how this works. You buy from us today using that code. You can either do that on the website or you can ring up. Then you will be sent from us the details where you need to ring, quoting your reference, and then you give them the make and model of your machine. That's it. That's all you need to do. And the only reason that you ring the company when you get your details from us is that they then will custom make this fabulous large extension table, deluxe extension table. They will make this tailor-made, custom-made for your machine, so it will fit that machine. Most major brands are covered. On our website, we do have a list underneath where this is featured. We do have a list. There's just a handful. Somebody's asked about their Brother machine. Yes, we don't have any exceptions on the Brother machine, so you know you should be absolutely fine with that. So as long as it's not a flatbed machine and it has a free arm, then you are pretty much good to go. There are a couple of the Janome ones, higher end ones, which it doesn't cover, but apart from that, you know. But just check on the website or give us customer services a call, 0800 112 4433. Beautifully smoothed edges so everything glides. If you're free motioning, there's no friction, there's nothing to hold, nothing to get caught on. That is the absolute beauty of these. You've got 5 different legs down here, which can all be twisted and turned so that even if you're on an uneven work surface, this is stable. If you love your westerly rulers, if you love your free motion embroidery, or if you just like to quilt, larger quilts with ease, this is the one. Saves you upgrading your machine for under £100. So please, we've had so many messages about this. Check out your basket for this. Don't miss out on this. Lucy is with us next, talking us through some beautiful creative grids. It's Lucy's Masterclass coming up next.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Never mind going to the market, we think this little piggy is going to steal your heart. The latest softie from fabulous toy maker Joe Carter was first seen in Simply Sewing magazine and is the prettiest pink piglet we have ever seen. Made from super soft pink fleecy fabric, this piglet will make the perfect present for a little one, or simply add to your own collection of super huggable soft toys. So, be sure not to miss out on Joe's Pink Piglet on Friday, the 27th of April at 9 AM. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue comes with a free gift.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level.
Hello, my name's Jess Entwistle and these are my 3 top tips. My first top tip is number 1, iron as you go. Always press because you will never regret it, but you always will if you don't. Top tip number 2, use small stitches. The smaller the stitches, the stronger the join in your fabric. Tip number 3, it's only fabric. If you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. Start again or change your direction.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to do diagonal tacking, which is also known as pad stitching, but depending on what you're using it for. Diagonal tacking would be a temporary stitch just to attach layers of fabric together, like interlinings or interfacings, and you'll be doing that to the wrong side of the fabric. So normally you would use 2 layers of fabric, but I'm going to be just using this fabric here on a hoop, just so I can show you the stitches. So I'm going to be taking my needle through my fabric, and then I'm going to be doing in and out to create a diagonal shape. And then I'm going to go further down and again coming in and out. So you can see that I'm moving from the right to left, but if you're right or left-handed, then this can change either way, whatever's more comfortable for you. So it's this small stitch here that gives you the diagonal shapes, and you just keep going down your fabric. So once you've done these stitches down here, you then need to go back up to create a second row of stitches. But this time you need to come in and out the other way. So this time I'm going from right to left, so I'm mirroring that stitch, like so.
You know, I said hoover or lint roll your fabric strips. We didn't. Covered, absolutely covered. Right, welcome back to this hour. Hannah's joining us. Oh, yep, she's back producing. And we've got Lucy back with us as well this hour. And we've got some lovely fabric bundles for you. And we've also got creative grids. Lucy's here to give us a little masterclass on our favourite rulers. So, without further ado, more fabulous colours. Nice, nice. Oh, you want to go with the grey tonal one here? Of course, Producer Hannah, you can be as awkward as you wish. We don't always have a grey, and it is really useful, and I love the fact that we're also verging into blue here. That, I'm assuming, is the pearl grey, which I always think is beautiful because it blends in with greys. It also goes with blues beautifully. So we've got all of the different greys here. 2.5 meters of fabric, $16.49. We've got charcoal, glacier, slate, pearl blue, and mercury in no particular order. There we go. That's what we've got in here. 2.5 meters. Greys are always so, look, they're covered, absolutely covered in thread. So useful. $16.49 for 2.5 meters of fabric. This is our Macawa fabric. It is 100% cotton. It is 44 inches, selvage to selvage, and it is quilting weight as well. It is our go-to fabric we love. Which one next, producer Hannah? Next up we have browns. Neutrals. Really handy to have. Again, we've called it coffee tone. It's like walking into a coffee shop. Have you seen those charts of which cup of tea is the right colour for you? Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? You've got chocolate, you've got cappuccino. What else have we got in there? We've got beige in there, mocha, and we've also got black. That's, again, not, the names aren't necessarily how they are in order, because I can't see them to match them. So that's what you're getting here. Again, 2.5 meters of your coffee tonal bundle. Do you know, it's one of these things, getting the neutrals like this, it might not be the most exciting purchase you ever make, but it will be one of the most useful. These are your workhorses. All these planes are your workhorses that you will turn to time and time and time again. Might even hold up your project if you don't have them. So it's always handy to just have in your stash. There we go. Now, blue. You just want to go to the furthest ones, don't you? When we do a colourway bundle, blues generally are the most popular tonal bundles that we do. So we've got beautiful blues for you today. We've called them ocean tonal, which feels lovely. So here we go. I've got ocean in there, which is good. I've got nautical blue. I've got cornflower, azure, and blue sea, in no particular order, apart from that's cornflower, and that's one of my favourites, just saying. So $16.49 again for 2.5 meters of fabric, which is great value. It is superb value, isn't it? I'm absolutely covered in thread. 2.5 meters of fabric for your ocean tonal blue fabrics. I think that research showed that blue was the most popular colour for fabric, so it's no surprise then that they work beautifully. But you see, look, if you mix them in with your greys, just saying, it's lovely, isn't it? If you wanted the greys and the blues, then that's just happiness, isn't it? La, 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 la. Nice. Do you know, I'm not normally a red fabric kind of a girl, but I really like this fiery one. Producer Hannah says, can we just play with these all day? She really enjoys these. I have to say, what a beautiful bundle. What, just satisfying, isn't it? Yeah. You could do like a phoenix rising from the ashes type quilt. I don't know if that's even a thing, or if this is just making me want to do one like that. Amazing, look at it. Yeah. What have I got in here, producer Hannah, because you're a bit crackly? Bright red, Christmas red, port. I've got Vienna orange and bright orange. Isn't it a cracker? I love it, because I don't normally do reds. I'm normally firmly over with the blues. This is lovely. It's beautifully graduated, full-on ombre going on here. Love that. This one really stands out for me today. Oh, yeah. Nice. What else have we got to look at? Greens. Let's go green, go green, go green. Here it is. Is it the same or different? Different to the bundle that we had for the greens this morning. Why not? We're going green-tastic today. So here are your greens with us today. So if you wanted some other greens, this is jungle tonal. So it's got, you've got lime green in there instead of the mint green earlier. So those more vibrant greens. Foliage, dark green, emerald rather, all in there. Beautiful, lovely, lovely, lovely. Pop it in your basket. Wendy's messaging. Hello, Wendy. Oh. Grey and red like fire and ice. Wait there, Wendy. Bear with. Fire and ice. Yeah. Fire and ice, I'm with you there. A quilt of two halves. Fire and ice. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It says something so primal, isn't there, about the elements? Fab. So your grey tonal down the bottom there, and your red tonal there. Fabulous. Now then, which one have I not looked? Oh, purple. Is this different from this morning's purple as well? I think it is. Oh, yes. So maybe you want to add more purple. Then here it is. Sometimes it is just the colours put together that makes you go yes, or maybe you've got a project where actually this would just sit beautifully. $16.49 for 2.5 meters of fabric, half a meter of each. Again, all of these are our solids. So they are all 100% cotton, 44 inches, selvage to selvage, machine washable, easy. Do you want to see half a meter? Let me show you half a meter, just so you know exactly how much you are getting of each there. That is your half meter width, and if I just pop that down on the table there, that is how much you get. Everything's got fluff on it today. That is how much you get of each, and so generally you're getting 5 in each of these bundles. It's a lot of fabric, isn't it? Do a lot of makes with that. Awesome. Right, Lucy is waiting in the wings. So when you've got your fabric, and again, we decided that the majority of us, apart from Hannah's mum, were buy your fabric first. Sorry, Sharon. Buy your fabric first, and then decide what project. Whichever way round it works. We've got the fabric sorted. Let's go make something. Hello, Lucy. Hello. How you doing, love?
I'm all right.
Excellent. Now, we have a plethora of different creative goods for us this morning.
We do.
And you've had a little play.
I have.
Do you have a favourite?
Speechless. I think, I don't know, because they all do different things, so they all serve different purposes, but I am very fond of the hexagon trim tool.
Oh, I like the hexagon
I like
trim
that one.
tool.
It's a bit different, so I like things that are different. And I'm going to say Wendy has a very good eye. I like that fire and ice.
Beautiful.
Can we ask people to message in with which combinations they would put together and why?
Oh, yeah.
It would just be fun.
Because we can.
And a lot of these rulers work best, with 2 different colours.
Right.
So a lot of the things that I'm doing, so either 2 different tones or 2 different colours. So we could think about which ways we'd use those bundles to combine them.
Let's have a look at the desk. As you've set that challenge,
Yes.
Lucy's challenge.
Yes.
Take a look at these. Which one? We've just gone through them. So just message in on the website or email in, whatever.
Yeah.
Messaging in on the website's probably easier. And let us know which ones you would go for and why.
And why? I'm interested in the why.
It can just be because I loves it.
Yeah. See, I'm feeling in a very spring mood, so I think purple and green.
Yeah.
That's a nice spring
Oh, who was
one.
it? First hour producer Hannah said she needed purple and green.
But then
It wasn't Susan, was it?
the side of me that likes to mix things up likes the red and purple.
It's a bit controversial.
I know, I like to do that. Sometimes odd combinations work really well. And especially how they're laid out in those tones.
Do you know what producer Hannah just said?
What did she say?
Odd combinations. That's us too on the screen.
Odd combinations.
Nice, isn't it?
Oh, well.
She's obviously given up on her compliments. She's obviously run out of compliments now.
Yeah.
She's just going for
I want
odd.
to put the fuchsia one with the bright orange. Those 2 I really like together.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of a 70s sort of a thing.
Why not?
Yeah, jazzy.
Why not? What are we doing though?
Okay. So, and you'll see as I'm going through what I mean about putting the 2, having the 2 different ones, because you want to have that contrast with a lot of these.
First ruler.
First ruler.
First up. We will talk about this as we go. I'm going to actually just nick some of your fabric over
of
here
course.
just to put it on, because otherwise it's really
you want
hard
me
to
to hold
see. Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. We go. This is your 90-degree quarter square triangle, non-slip, 2.5 inch. I think I've managed to say everything that's on there. it's kind of a ruler of 2 halves, isn't it, this one?
Yes, this is a really handy one. So you can see there, that's the block that it makes. So that's your quarter square triangle. So we do half square triangles a lot.
Yes.
And this one makes quarter square triangles. And there are endless combinations of quarter square triangle patterns that you can create. So this is one of those, like you're saying, the solid fabrics are like workhorse fabrics.
Yeah.
This is one of your workhorse rulers. And you'll be able to get, I mean, all of them you can get lots of different variations, but this is a very simple block, simple to piece, but you can create fantastic results with it.
And look great.
And look great.
If you've not met creative grids before, I think to call them creative rulers.
Creative grids rulers.
If you've not met creative grids before, they are super special, and why we love them and why we pay a little bit extra for them, and that's just a fact, is that, look, it's not going anywhere.
It grips.
It really grips. I hate a slippery ruler.
It puts people off. Slippery rulers put people off quilting.
And I feel very passionately about this because it was only because of working with you. You made me live on air, because what could possibly go wrong there, get over my fear of rotary cutting because I'd cut with cheap rulers.
And that it's not safe, and they're not easy to work with. And beyond that, creative grids are so fantastic because of the way they mark things, the thought that's gone into them. They're very, very simple to use, and they really do grip. So
and that, for me, is superb. Now, I know there are going to be really experienced quilters out there who go, I've never had a problem with other rulers that don't have grips on, and you can buy grips to put on them. And it's all down to personal preference. But when you go creative grids, you don't look back.
No.
You really don't. I really, really love them. I really rate them. There is, of course, a place for all different types of rulers.
Of course.
But as and when you can afford to go for your creative grids.
There's no place for other rulers for me. I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to pretend. Every time I'm on, make sure it's a even when I started, I want a creative grids ruler because they're so easy to use. And you almost get spoiled by them in the way that you use them. And the standard ones, so the ones that I always recommend people get to begin with, they have the half measurements and the full measurements, and you'll see as I'm demonstrating, cutting all these pieces out, how well thought out they are for the task that they do.
Creative Grids is a family company making rulers for quilters. They are quilters making for quilters. Alison in Cheshire, hi Ali. She says, hello Lucy and Natasha. The red and purple bundles have jumped into my basket. She's like, you? Yeah. Reds for Christmas projects. How organised are you?
Yeah,
and purple because I love them all.
Yes. Good thinking, Ali.
There you go.
Good thinking.
Any excuse. I'm up for any excuses. I like hearing the excuses.
And it's good to get ahead. So, and then you've got that red for Christmas ready.
Now, blues, of course, always very popular. What are we going to do with this one?
Okay, so this one, all you need to do is cut strips to begin with. So for near enough all of them, you're cutting strips.
Okay.
So you just use your regular long ruler, just cut strips. And the measurements for this is quite clearly...
I can't possibly imagine. Even
quite
upside
clearly,
down, it's very clear.
2.5 inches. Now, this is a 16 1/4. So you can cut your strips using this to 16 1/4. I've just cut it the full width of the fabric, but you can use this ruler and it just lines up perfectly to cut your 2.5 inch strips. So it's a double duty one.
If you don't have, if you haven't invested yet in the longer ruler that's going to cut straight through your selvage to selvage, then it doesn't matter because you've got that capability here. Or say you're going to a workshop and you don't want to take all of them, you know the focus is going to be on something like this, you can still do it with just this one, which is great.
Yes. And with all these rulers, I will just say as well, even though you can use this ruler, cut these shapes and make a whole quilt out of them, any time where there's patterns where I know I need, and I believe this is a 4 inch finish quarter square triangle, So if I'm following a pattern and I need that particular shape, then I'll use these.
Just go for this.
Yeah, because you've got to make a lot of them. This makes it so much quicker because you can cut so many at once. So I have stacked up my fabrics.
Okay.
If you are a complete beginner using a ruler and a rotary cutter, you can open out the length of fabric and just cut through one layer at a time. You can do your folded width, or you can stack it up when you feel, you know, confident using it.
Yeah.
Yes, but initially I would just start with one, you know, single fabric till you get used to it, and then
I cut through loads now.
cut through loads.
I've really got my
well,
confidence up
it's
with
so
it.
time saving, and that's, you know, that's one of the benefits of it. But being able to cut like this, as opposed to using a template or something, increases your accuracy. And as quilters, that's what we really want.
That's the start of it, isn't it? Yeah.
So if all of your pieces are accurate, it makes piecing much simpler.
It's like cooking, isn't it? When you just judge something by eye and just go, oh, I'll just get a bit of, and it's not quite right.
So
Whereas if you measure accurately.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I've angled this because I'm going to be cutting up and down, and if I had it facing me, I don't want to be cutting towards myself, so I always angle it away from myself.
Safety first.
And then just give it a press so that it's got that grip and everything's held in place. And then as I'm cutting, I just move my hand down the ruler. I do have a horrible habit of sort of going like that, but you have got that space there. So, but I would advise that you just keep your hands, you know, out of the way as you're cutting. So get everything lined up, give it a quick press, and then you just go ahead and cut. And it has these special grooves here that allow the rotary cutter to go right in so you can cut that triangle.
Yes.
And then again, when you're beginning to cut, you've got space to start, clear away from the fabric, and then you just cut.
So there's none of that awkward trying to shimmy into...
Yes, exactly, because it's right there, and you get that clean cut. So I've just cut lots and lots and lots. And lots and lots.
Oh, yeah, look in different colourways too. Nice.
Loads of them at once. So, and then because I've cut from the width, I can just go, you know, I can get another one out of there.
Well, yeah, kind of two.
Well, yeah, but except I'd have to position it so I've got a 1/4 of an inch there, and then I would just get another 2.
Okay.
Because you need that bit at the
So
top.
if I wanted to do it so it was really accurate, would I do it so I lined that edge up there?
Yes.
And there, and then I've got 1, 2,
You've got
and then I've got
2 there.
every scrap.
Should we just do it? We'll just do it, and then we've got it, haven't we?
It's a great workhorse ruler. Producer Hannah saying a real workhorse. And that's what this is, isn't it?
Yeah, so from, and I eat, could I?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Oh, that makes me so happy, I'm so sad.
Okay, so I can get
That makes
another.
me so happy.
That's another 2. So that is all that's left over, is those little, that's it.
Brilliant.
From the full
Brilliant.
strip. So
Amy's asked a question. If you had a fabric strip folded in half, could you use this to cut squares too, says Amy. Oh, so in terms of it's 5 inches folded into 2.5, so that when you've cut that, like that,
yes.
you would then unfold it like that. Yes.
Clever Amy. Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
Another great idea.
Yeah.
And that's sharing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And what is really great about them is you do find other ways to use them.
Yeah.
You know, and different benefits of the different ones. And it's quite freeing to be able to have those rulers and be able to experiment and try different things with them.
Amy says, yay! And now Rosella says, purple and grey for me as it matches my kitchen and my hair today.
Nice. I love that.
Rosella. Is that my Rosella? Is that my Rosella?
Purple and grey would be
purple
lovely.
and grey. Yeah.
Well, that's very fashionable, purple
Hang on, I might
grey
just have
hair.
to go. Yeah. Grey one's nearly sold out. Rosella, you need to be really quick.
It's lovely. And isn't it funny how the greys look? They sort of change, don't they, depending on which colour you put them with. They
if you put them with the blues,
or cool down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's the Rosella I know, I think your hair looks fab. Love it.
Okay, so I've cut out lots of pieces, and then we just want to decide how we're going to arrange them. So obviously with just the two, and I mean, you could cut as many colours, you know, you could have all 4 colours in one. I've just
last
cut
hour
2.
we had the Carolyn Forster book where she had designs with this. I don't know what size they were, but it was this kind of design made up to look like egg timers and things like that.
Right, yes.
So, you know, again, you can use these and adapt them.
And on repeat, it looks, you know, you can start to build up a picture of what it will
well, that's the thing. Do you do it like that, or do you do the you know?
Yes. So lots of different ways that you can mix them up.
Because you could do it, couldn't you? So that it's then, you've got the dark ones together.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah. And if you planned it really well, sort of sketched it out, you could have all of these be completely different colours.
And just have them all spinning around.
And you would just have a seam, but it would look like you'd, you know, created all kinds of different things. Half ones, whole ones.
I love it.
Lots of different options.
Let's do the next ruler.
Diamond, square. You can add diamonds and squares in as well. You know, you can add squares in different places. Oh, I get too excited.
I've got other rulers to do.
I know, all right, sorry. Shall I sew? Well, I won't.
We won't sew it.
It's very easy to sew. It's just, you know, you just do the 2 halves. So from the straight point down there, that one, there, and then the 2 halves together.
We get carried away because we love them.
I know, I love them. I do get very carried away. Look at you, just go like that. Right. Okay, I'll do
get
scrap
ready. I'll be.
Okay, this is one of my favourite ones for many reasons. I think you get a really nice finished block.
Yeah.
That you then can combine to make this sort of crazy shape. So it's based on the idea of you would have like Victorian quilts that were scrap crazy and
crazy quilt.
Yeah, so just made up of all different kinds of fabrics, and then you can stitch over the top of them. They'd use all different kinds of stitches and different embellishments and things like that.
This is definitely one to say. When you get this, each of your creative grids will come with a black packaging like this.
Yes.
Do not throw it away. Don't, because you'll regret it. It gives you your step-by-step instructions, different ways in which to use the ruler, fabric layout, fabulous fabric layout, and then on the back, photocopy, enlarge, get your pens out and colour, and plan.
And you can do the pattern of this is so clever. Like in those central points, there's almost like a pinwheel going on. So you could pull that out with different fabrics and have those
Or you could have a real
pinwheels.
jaggedy one and go for the irregular one.
Yes,
there.
and the edges it looks like shattered glass almost,
does,
you know.
doesn't
And
it?
so depending on which fabrics you put where, you're going to get a really different look. So
or you could just put all different colours all over the place and just go completely.
But that for £22.99, the amount of different patterns and things you can create with this set is amazing. So you've got these other blocks here.
These are all these are still with the same one.
Yes, same rulers, and you're just using the different templates. So even within the main pattern, there is a section E. If we look up here, can you see there's another little triangle there? Yes. So in this block, you'd have another little triangle. So even there, you've got an alternative.
And then down here.
And then you can make hexagons. You can do the triangle ones. These are great for borders, things like that. So you can add them into other projects or just standalone blocks to repeat to make a quilt.
I wonder how many times we're going to say workhorse this hour. But it is.
Yeah.
True.
It's a really, really clever one.
Versatile as well.
And this one, again, they've really thought out how to get the most of your fabric. So I've cut a 6-inch strip and you lay your pieces, and I always have to look at the diagram because...
Oh no, me too.
I can't remember it.
Even though it's actually on the squares.
Yes, I still have to look at it. So you lay it out and then you get, you get all of your pieces cut. So you can layer up your fabric or you can do it one by one and you'll have variants of all these different pieces.
Nice.
Now, of course, you could cut each one separately from the fabrics. If you wanted to rip it, I wouldn't do this unless I was going to mix it up.
Yeah.
If I knew all the blue wanted to be C, I'd just cut a strip to this height and just cut all my C pieces.
Very, very quickly, sorry to interrupt. Jill, grey, your code for the grey bundle is there, but there's only one. It's got your name on it. There's your code for it down there. RZXC93, hopefully, unless somebody pips you to the post. But that's your code for the grey. She just asked.
Wow. Going fast,
Soz.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can get mirrored blocks with these as well. So you cut these pieces out, you turn the fabric over, and you'll get another B. You don't cut it like that, but what you flip it over and you get another B.
Yes.
So you're really making the most of your fabric here.
Nice.
And getting all of your pieces from that 6-inch strip.
Perfect.
And it's got very clear instructions about how to cut it out. So it's all there labelled for you. You just cut all your pieces, and then it's like a little jigsaw puzzle, and you just sew them all together.
Perfect.
So very, very easy.
We've had lots
to
of fun
do.
with this in the past, and I just love the fact that you can really plan it.
Yes.
You can really plan it.
You can
with
really
this.
plan it, or you can not plan it at all.
Every time you use it, it's going to be different.
Yeah, and you
If
could,
you want it to be.
you know, if you wanted to use up bits of other projects, you can just cut the individual shapes out, put them all in a little basket, save them up, you know, and then make something completely random.
Oh, yeah, it could be a completely random affair.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
But the piecing of this one is really straightforward
Okay.
as well. There are no, if you're doing the A, B, C, D, there's no seams to match up at all.
Nice.
So if you're a beginner, this is a perfect, I mean, it's great for
Hannah's just
everybody,
perked
but
up.
yeah,
Ooh.
no seams to match. So it's really, really easy to piece. It's only when you come to put the blocks together that you need to match them up. But the piecing just is really fun and very, very easy to do.
6-inch finished square there, designed by Karen Montgomery. Let's give her a due.
Yes.
Again, Creative Grids get quilters, really well-established quilters, to design for other quilters. That's why they're so brilliant.
And just to try it, you know,
just a
that
triangle
on its own is
Handy.
brilliant.
Yes.
So they, you know, it's a lovely set to have and to be able to use and do lots and lots of different things with, which we like.
We do.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that one for now and go on to the curvy log cabin trim tool.
Log cabin was the very first attempt at quilting I ever made, because I had a 2.5-inch strip set, and I was like, right, what am I going to do with this? And it was the very first thing, and I did a great big piece like that, made a couple of cushions and an elephant out of it.
Oh.
There you go. But I didn't know you could get curvy ones until I saw this. So this is your curvy log cabin trim tool. Now, all sorts of different features on here. Over to you, Lucy.
Okay. It looks complicated, but as you start using it, it's very, very simple and makes a lot of sense.
There you go. If we lay it down, we can see it better, can't we? There we go.
Yeah. So everything, all the information that you need is on there. You want to keep your insert that goes with it, just because it, you know, it's got a step-by-step explanation. So for someone that's never used it before, you definitely need that insert. But then once you've got the hang of it, you can just refer to the ruler. So all the measurements are on there that you need. You're starting off with a central square and building upon it. So like a normal log cabin, all of the strips are the same width.
Yes.
With this one, what's different is you have a narrow side and a wider side. So that's what creates this sort of curved effect, because the narrow ones are on the outside and the...
Now, I've seen some of our viewers do entire quilts using a curved log cabin, and they get this effect
depending on
going
how you position
It's
them, you
amazing.
can get completely different effects.
And you know, when you just look at something and go, I don't know, I do now. I don't know how you
they've
do
done
that.
it,
So clever. And it's just the different placement of those pieces.
It's definitely
Very
one of
clever.
those blocks that once you put it together, it really looks like it's far more complicated than it actually is, because it's just straight strips, straight sewing, you know, very, very easy to do.
Yes.
So we've got these that were made up in another demonstration, but just to give you an idea visually of how it would look. And there's different fabrics in there. I want to go like that, sorry.
Yeah, move it around.
Yeah, so you can move them around. But you get a really nice effect of that circle. And this is quite a subtle one.
Yes.
But in brighter colours, that will stand out even more. But you can see what I mean about the narrow strips and the wider strips.
And all starting from that central
just starting
square
from that
there.
central square.
Because that was the genius of this. This is what I never understood. What just was like, yes, absolutely. You get that, so you can cut your very first square, and that's the key, isn't it? Getting that first square cut right.
Yes.
And then, because if I put this on here, we'll see. There we go. This was made with the wider one, but that's where you would cut your wide one, and then you've got, you can make sure that everything is lined up as you trim it back. It's just brilliant.
It's very, very clever. So I'm going to have a go at this one, just to show you how easy it is.
Yeah, because that's the 8-inch one, and this is the 6-inch one.
Yeah,
so slightly different sizes.
Your central square is 1.5.
Okay.
So you cut that out, and then you can use the guide to mark your points on. Have I cut that slightly too?
A
Little bit big. Well, if I mark it, then I know what I'm doing, don't I? See, they think of everything. So you're just marking your, so just dotting your 4 corners, and then you know as you're sewing that's where you're going to be. So then you could just cutting strips. So I mean, look, that could just be left over from something, couldn't it?
Yeah. And I always keep my leftover.
Yes. You know, something like that, and you might go, oh, well, what am I going to do with that? This. That's what you're going to do. So you want to have narrow and wide. So that's my narrow one, this is my wide one. And then I just do it using scissors to begin with.
Yeah, no, me too.
You can, you know, accurately...
Yeah, you can.
Do everything, or you can just cut it with scissors. So, I mean, you could even...
You're going to come back in and cut accurately, aren't you? So.
Yes, you can use the ruler if you want to, just to line it up and trim it. And then you can start piecing your sections together. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew that.
So 1/4 inch seam on these, as with the majority of your quilting. And off we go.
And I can just see that I'm going through those dots.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you finger press or do you... Oh, I'm
finger
asking.
press. I know, just finger press. You can, I mean, you know, you should press with an iron, but...
For the sake of time.
For the sake of time, yes. I'm just going to finger press.
Yes.
And so this... So you're working in rounds.
Yes.
Okay, so half is wide and then half is... narrow. So again, you can just, and I mean, I just like to make it nice and quick, and I'm just going to sort of guess, because like you say, we're going to trim it back.
As long as you don't cut it narrower, as long as you give yourself a little bit, then you're fine.
Yeah, and I like to start with my straight edge where I'm going to sew the next piece to, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Because it just makes it easier as I'm doing it, just does.
And this idea, this premise is, they also do a log cabin, just a normal log cabin trim tool. Yeah. The same applies with your pineapple and your hexagon trim tool.
Yes.
This basic, well, we'll see in a minute, but what Lucy's about to do works with all those rulers. If you see trim tool, then this is it.
The basic premise of them is the same. You're just getting a different result. So then, oh no, I've got to sew my narrow ones on first.
And you just keep going round, don't you?
Yeah, you just keep going round, and it's really fun, and you can use any, you know, combination of fabrics. I do think it's nice to have a contrast, because it shows that piecing off really well. And it's just 1/4 inch every time.
This does get a little bit addictive, I have to say.
It really does. And it's Do you know, I think it's really satisfying, the trimming.
Yes.
I really enjoy the trimming
Yes.
back of everything. So when I get to this point, because that was just a bit left over, and I'm going to sew one onto here, I'm just going to trim that off level with the edge there. And it all gets, you really don't have to worry about, I know accuracy is really important, but in the terms of the width of your strips, you don't need to worry
really
so
helps,
much.
yeah.
And it tells you there on the ruler what widths of strips that you need to use.
I can tell you, it says, cut narrow strips at least 1 1/4 inch wide, and then cut your wide strips at least 1 3/4 inches wide. That says a 1/2 inch in it, that's it.
Yeah, and you don't, if they're, you know, say you've got 2-inch strips, don't trim them back.
Just go for it.
Just keep them as they are. I didn't cut that one first. I should have done that really, but
again, you know, that's the beauty of this, isn't it? It really doesn't matter. So then, what happens?
Okay, so then I'm going to trim it back. So I'm going to cut my wide first of all. And can I just say, when I put that down first of all, and I saw that that square was larger, I knew I wasn't right.
Yes.
And that's what's so brilliant about this, is you can't really go, you know, you follow the instructions, obviously, and it takes a minute to get your head around it, but once you've got it, I put that down, I saw that that square wasn't in the square.
No.
And I gone, I've done something wrong here. Oh, I didn't add my next section. So it really is, there's so much logic in this one little square.
Oh,
it's fantastic.
Brilliant.
So what I'm doing, so these are my wider strips, these are my narrow strips. So I'm gonna trim back my wide. So literally wide, round 1. So I know that the square is in the square. My seams are lined up with the line. If they aren't for any reason, you can just give it a little, you know, get it into position so that as you're trimming it,
you're trimming it square,
perfect.
yeah. That's because that's often where, if I do this without a trim tool, it can go a little bit wibbly wobbly.
Yes, and they do.
Yes.
And this keeps it perfectly accurate. So again, now all I've done is flipped it over, and I've gone to narrow round 1, and I'm going to trim this back. And again, see how these lines perfectly align with my seam allowance. And then trim that back.
Now, Lucy, that is perfect. And you are not alone in getting, every time, a perfect finish. Lots of you have been getting in touch with your pictures, with your photos. So, let's have a look at Jules. Whoa! Look at that!
Wow.
That's superb.
Wow. See that drama? Look at that. That is fantastic.
This is from Wendy. Oh.
I love black and white
Very,
pink.
oh, it's pretty,
love
isn't it?
That.
And again, look at that difference.
Yes, it's
Same
incredible.
tool, completely different looks.
Amazing. And that layout is, you know, that's so unique.
It's beautiful.
And that's so fun to be able to make the blocks and then combine them and have something completely different. Shall I keep going or move on?
No, next one.
Next one.
Next trim tool.
Oh, I want to keep going because I really genuinely love making these. They're so, that is so satisfying. I can't tell you.
Well, it's the perfection of it, isn't it? Every time.
Yes.
Hexagonal, because you said it was your favourite.
Oh, okay. Should we,
Says
are we
producer
just
Hannah.
going to be talking through? I think we're just going to have to talk through them at this point, aren't we? So hexagonal trim tool works in just a very similar way. You're working in rounds. Everything is labelled on there for you. So you begin, you choose what size hexagon you want to begin with, and you keep on trimming it, okay? So you've got your...
I was just going to say, should we put that on there so we can see?
Yeah.
So this is your starter size.
Yes.
Now, the really nice thing about this is if you look at every single point, you've got a marker. If hexagons are one of those, if they're your nemesis, because they get a bit wobbly, you can check at every stage.
Yeah. And you can make, they all end up the same size, so they all end up the same size, but they will look completely different depending on the central hexagon that you choose to start off with.
So you could do this size, and then if you wanted to do something like that, you'd just move it as you add the layers on, you just move it so that that then aligns there and you're cutting back further in. Yeah. Or if you want to do larger ones, or you can just use this to just cut your hexies.
Or you can just cut hexagons. So if you are an English paper piecer or a hand piecer, or you want to machine sew hexagons, this makes it so easy.
And it even says here 2-inch hexie. Now this is where I would say measure where that 2 inches is. Do you know what I mean? Because that's saying that's a 2-inch hexie, but that's smaller than the one we had on earlier.
Yes, I'm with you.
So
yeah.
I think that 2-inch is going to be your finished size across.
I think it's,
or
is it there to there, I think.
There to there. There to... Oh, you see, I was measuring across, you're measuring up.
So flat side to flat side of your hexagon, 2 inches.
So you're 2 inches, whereas with the earlier hexes we had for this, where it said it was a 2-inch hexie, it meant that that side was 2 inches. Here, your 2 inches is finished there to there.
That's because that's the strips that you're cutting them from.
Yes.
So it's got 2 inches because you're cutting them from a 2-inch strip.
Yes. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Okay. So you cut your strips and then
you're like just
adding your, I know, so you're just adding, and you can do whatever colours, you know, you want to do. And these could all be different colours, you know, so it's sort of radiating out. These were the ones that my daughter was calling those biscuits.
Oh, the party
rings. There you go.
They seem to be the theme.
Yeah, that's what they reminded her of. She absolutely fell in love with these when I made them.
I quite like the graduated look.
Yes, and wouldn't it be lovely, a whole quilt of them
going out
in all different ones. Yes, you could make it
like a ripple,
like a star or a snowflake. Oh. You did that in the blue and the grey's gone. Okay, you could just do it in the blues.
What about blue and purple?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you could. I mean, just look.
So completely different effects.
Yes.
And the way you mix colours makes the block, you know, it makes it look totally different.
Obviously, you can look up demos that Lucy's done with these, but also you've got all your instructions.
Really clear instructions.
And they also, if you just pop that into a search engine, or if you've got a QR reader, you just scan that in, and it will take you to their own videos as well on how to use it.
And how to sew them together.
Really important.
So you've got everything in there that you need.
But look, comprehensive, fully comprehensive, showing you how to use it step by step. It is not scary. Just fab. And yet incredibly effective.
Yeah.
I like it. It reminds me of speakers, you know.
Yes. That would look so good, wouldn't it? Like neutral ones. Oh, I want to make that now.
You're not going to go home, are you?
No.
Let's have a look at the pineapple.
Okay, pineapple is another of my favourites.
Let's pop it on there.
I do love this little ruler.
Now, this is one of those ones that it looks. It doesn't look all that. Looks a bit boring, but the effect. Sorry. But well, no, because it's just like, well, that's not going to be a pineapple. How is that a pineapple? How is that possibly a pineapple? But it is.
But it is. So the genius of this, again, is that it's got that angled side, and that's what helps you create.
This bit here?
Yes, is what helps you create the pineapple shape, so that you're cutting from this side and from this side, depending on which round you're on. So it's just the same, it's working in rounds, and then trimming it back. And again, it's got the sizes on there as well, and you can do a 4-inch block, a 5-inch block, or a 6-inch block.
On our fan page, I've been avidly watching one of our viewers as she's sort of done it block by block, as obviously you have to, and then she's been piecing it up and just watching this incredible quilt growing using the pineapple trim tool. Just been fantastic.
It's amazing, and the results of this are just
I love this. Look
Spectacular.
at that.
And
using this, you wouldn't think that
No.
just that would create that. Love it.
It is beautiful.
It's spectacular.
And this is something that is tricky to get incredibly, to make incredibly accurately without something like this.
I can't quite get my head around how I would do it without that.
A lot of people would choose to foundation paper piece it over traditional piecing, because traditional piecing is tricky.
It's tricky, yeah.
And I accept that foundation paper piecing is not everybody's cup of tea.
Whenever I hear foundation paper piecing, in my head it says, too tricky to quilt normally. That's what happens. That's what I hear. Too tricky to quilt normally. Yeah. And that's effectively what we're saying here, that without this tool, this would be very tricky to quilt in a normal fashion.
I enjoy foundation paper piecing. I don't want to foundation paper piece this block because I don't want to tear out all those bits of paper afterwards.
Oh yeah, I thought of that.
This means you don't have to. But beyond that, again, like the curvy log cabin, it's really fun to do. It's quite meditative. You get into a sort of a routine. So the angled round, the straight round, angled round, straight round. So you're starting off with a central square, and then you're adding your strips, and then trimming it on the angle. So the first one creates that, and then the next one on the straight, next one angle, and you just keep repeating
well, you can
like
see,
that.
can't you? I mean, if I pop this in here, on here, so your first one, you can see how you would trim back, and that gives you your seam allowance as well.
Gives you your seam allowance. It's got all the lines on there, so you can measure, you can line everything up perfectly, and it's really, really fun to make.
So there's your next one, that's your second one. So then that lines up and that says, whichever round. And then chop. And then you just keep lining them up, don't you? And you can see as that's lined up how absolutely perfect this is, because you can see where it's lining everything through absolutely where it should be. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
And again, with the instructions, you've got everything that you need.
You don't get sunglasses, which you might need for that.
Maybe not everything you need, but everything you need to make that block.
Because it's loud, isn't it?
It's just, but it's a very traditional. This is a very traditional block, and you can do it equal. It's incredibly beautiful in very soft tones as well. So it's really. I
think for me, again, it
I've gone
reminds
for
me
like a sort of very
speakers. That to me makes me think
loud.
festival.
These are all quite sort of fruity, aren't they? These ones. But that goes to show, fussy cutting, how easy it is to fussy cut using these, and even you could get little bits, little florals or something like that would look beautiful.
We've had those beautiful bundles where they're basically ombre. Could you imagine ombreing? Because you could. You started here. You got your yellow, then your orange. What if you then tonally went out?
Beautiful, beautiful. And just completely mix it up. And again, when you add blocks, when you put the blocks next to each other, I don't know. There's not a picture on there, but it creates secondary patterns again, so you can play about with that, with the fabrics and the position of the fabrics as well, to get completely different looks.
It does kind of make me not want to go home and stay here and just make one.
I know.
Should we just get our sleeping bags out and just stay here overnight?
We'll have a sew-in.
A sew-in? Yes. Have you got any? We've got about time for one more. Have you got any that you absolutely have to really, really want to?
I don't know. I can't make a decision. It's kites or.
Should we go for a classic rectangle? Just.
Oh, okay, we can do that.
Just was that what you wanted, Producer Hannah? Or whatever Lucy wants. Still whatever you want.
I'm happy to talk about that.
Come on, you had another one you wanted.
Okay, okay. Can we do kites?
Yes, let's do kites. Where is it?
At the front there.
Kites plus.
Yes, that's it. Okay, kites are one of those shapes that sort of look a bit boring.
Really sell it, Lucy.
I know, sorry. Well, I'm just going to be honest, because people will be like, But they make incredible combinations. And there are, you can do a little search after, you can make stunning quilts using just a kite shape.
Well, hang on, just on the front of this ruler, 1, 2, 3, 4. different ways.
Yes, and that's just on here 5. This also gives you the option of creating the like a background shape to the kite, so you can put it in a rectangle.
Oh, nice.
So you can make rectangle blocks with the kites in, which I think would make the most beautiful border for a quilt. You know, to have those going all the way around the edge of a quilt would be gorgeous. You've got lots of different sizes on here as well. Half kites, triangles, these pyramid blocks. So you've got like the triangle and the mountain looking one.
I love that. Imagine doing a whole border of snowy peaks.
Yeah, and then your sort of radioactive looking hexagon.
Yeah, so might depend on what colours you went for.
Yeah. But again, with that, depending on where you put the fabrics, you get a lot of variations with that as well.
For a teenage boy's bedroom.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm dreading that.
Just as a warning.
And then again, you've got instructions for all the different ways that you can put these together.
This is the beauty of these, isn't it? Is the instructions are just so clear.
Yeah, and these aren't just for machine piecing. If you do like hand sewing, you can use these rulers as well.
No.
And you can cut very small, you know, that's a 2.5-inch kite. That's tiny.
Yeah.
That one. But lots of different ways that you can use them.
Dr. Tim says I've got it upside down. No, that's
that one
the
is,
other
but
page.
that one's the right way.
That one's the right way around. And then
Just
all
confusing.
more instructions through there. So Lucy wanted to show us how tiny the first one is.
And there's ones, yeah, that's the first one there. So that's a 2.5-inch kite. So you can see that there.
It's tiny, that's your border.
Yeah, it's tiny. But you can do, but if you're hand sewer, this is really handy to have because you can cut out all your pieces.
Oh.
You know, rotary cut all your pieces rather than cutting them out with scissors to make shapes. And there are some beautiful traditional blocks made with kites, but then also you could make it look really modern. So it's, again, one of those shapes that sometimes gets neglected, but I think
I don't want to neglect
should be given more credit because
being fabulous.
It's beautiful. Yes, and that you can make hexagons with it as well, that you can then add into other things. So you think what you could do with a flower garden hexagon quilt with kites to break it up to make it a bit more.
Producer Hannah just wants an hour just on this.
I would have an hour just on this. And some of the, if you're piecing the triangles, there's a Y seam in there as well. So if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, but it's very easy and the instructions make it incredibly clear.
Perfect.
So,
Lucy, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know where that hour's gone. We could just
flies by.
Play with these all day.
Flies by.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right, Producer Hannah, what do you want? Oh, we're going to have a look at some fabrics.
Okay.
See you in a second. Ba, 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 ba. These are what we have left. This is what we have left. The grey has gone. Well done if you managed to get hold of that. So you've got your blues, your grey tonals, your coffee tones. Sorry, grey's gone in my head. That's what I was saying. This is your coffee tones. You've got your purples, your greens, and obviously those fiery reds there. So whichever ones you're after, they are all on the website. They are all $16.49. They're all 2.5 metre bundles, 1/2 metre of each of those fabrics. Now, I know that our show is about to come to an end now, but don't forget, if you missed any of the earlier shows, we now go on to repeat. We repeat on Sky, we repeat on Freeview, we repeat on, well, wherever you like, on the website as well. Coming up tomorrow, let's see what we've got. Mr. John Scott is back, the man himself, and he has got fabric and quilts at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. a children's dressmaking hour with Victoria Peat, super sewing machines, and then Hello Dolly with Victoria Peat at 11 a.m. I have no idea what the Hello Dolly is, but it sounds fun. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Need to tune in just to find out. Remember, 50% off your Sewing Quarter branded cutting tools and trimming tools. Do take a look at that. Don't miss out on that. So if you are in need of a cutting mat or anything like that, check out those baskets. Don't miss out on that. It's only confirmed once you check out your basket. Leaves me to say a big thank you to Lucy Brennan for being fantastic as ever. Thank you very much at home for watching. But remember, if you've missed any of the shows, you can always watch them back on YouTube, or you can wait for the loop to start all over again. Yes, so that's how that happens. If you are ringing up to order your extension table, remember it's free to do so, 0800 112 4433, so don't miss out on any of that. It's been a busy old day, but thank you ever so much for joining me. I will see you over the weekend. Yes, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Never mind going to the market, we think this little piggy is going to steal your heart. The latest softie from fabulous toy maker Jo Carter was first seen in Simply Sewing magazine and is the prettiest pink piglet we have ever seen. Made from super soft pink fleecy fabric, this piglet will make the perfect present for a little one, or simply add to your own collection of super huggable soft toys. So, be sure not to miss out on Jo's Pink Piglet on Friday, the 27th of April at 9 AM. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.